Sorry, I'm just clicking things. Hi, now you can hear me. Hello, everybody. How's it going out there? My name is Will. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I am your stream director tonight. I am not in this game. However, I am here to introduce the concept and talk about Haz-mas and Live from the Apocalypse a little bit. So thank you so much for joining us. We are Live from the Apocalypse, as previously stated. If you have not caught a stream with us before, or if you're not familiar with our podcasts or anything else, we stream tabletop RPGs to raise money for nonprofits and charitable causes and progressive organizations. And pretty much everything we do goes to charity, goes to benefit those same causes. This whole thing, the 12 games of Haz-mas, which we've decided to do, where we will be streaming 12 games over the course of 12 days, benefits the International Rescue Committee. And the International Rescue Committee, if you're not familiar, is a fantastic organization. We've been supporting them for quite a while now. They have over 80 years of history, I think, offering humanitarian aid. They're active in over 40 countries, including the United States of America and many others. And they do really important and really critical work. And we like them a lot, and we're happy that we can support them. Um, so basically, yeah, if you like what you see here, the way that things always work is we ask that instead of doing the normal Twitch things like subscribing or giving us bits or any of that stuff, where Jeffrey Bezos will take more than half of whatever you try to give to us. Instead of doing any of that, just give the money directly to the organizations that we are platforming, and you can do that by hitting !donate in the chat. That'll make the bot post the link. You follow that, and you can throw the $5, the $6, whatever you might be able to give. If you're able to give anything, no pressure, directly to the International Rescue Committee instead. And if you do that, the McElroy brothers will interrupt whatever is going on stream, and they will scream at us. You are, of course, we cannot stop you from subscribing if you so choose. It's not a feature that you can turn off. However, if you do that, just be aware that Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog for every month that you have been subscribed. So make up your own minds if you can live with yourself, if you can sleep at night. Really, balls in your court. Just maybe the better option would be to donate to IRC for your own sake and the sake of all those dogs, really. I think that is probably pretty much everything. !donate in the chat. We'll call it the link if you want to know where you can find our cast who are about to introduce themselves momentarily. You can hit !cast in the chat. That'll call up the links where you can locate everybody and the various projects and things that they do all over the internet. And with all that being said, I think that's probably enough talking from me. So I'm going to hand it over to the cast of Snowman's Point, and very specifically, our storyteller, Jason. Take it away.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I am Jason Myers. I run Memester of the Week. I'm the keeper and editor and so many things of that show. And today we are going to be playing Monster of the Week. I have a fun, spooky holiday time planned for us. But first, let's get started and let's talk to our wonderful players. Starting from, oh, wonderful, I can see this. So we're going to go clockwise. We're going to go clockwise on the stream here. So Amelia, can you tell us whom you are and where on the internet it can find you?
It's always me first, I swear.
Well,
Hi.
alphabetical.
Exactly. I'm Amelia. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on the internet at am_rids_music on Twitter. The Basically the only thing I do, I am the editor of the Lancer actual play Bring Your Own Mech. We just started our second season just about a month ago, so if you want to catch up, now's the time to do that. But today we're not playing that. I'm playing Colleen Yeager Anwin. I don't know if we give away playbooks just yet, but I'm very excited. I've not seen this playbook in action. I've already was describing it. I'll keep it a secret, I guess.
Keep it safe. Okay, so next going down at the, what is that, 4 o'clock position, 5 o'clock position?
Okay. Basically, my name's Kristen. I use they them pronouns. You can find me on the internet over at Twitter at KristenCINTX. I'm playing the character tonight of Nick. He uses he they pronouns, and yeah, excited to play him.
And over at 7 o'clock.
Hi, happy 7 o'clock. My name is Ryan Placetti. I am the primary host for Don't Wreck Yourself. It's an internet podcast that's about fact checking the internet and saying bad words. So a lot of fun stuff there, a lot of comedy. We've got about 70 episodes. Definitely check it out if you get the chance. Today I am going to be playing, without giving away my playbook, Krampus. In parentheses, the Christmas Devil.
Wonderful. And over in our 9 o'clock position.
I'm Jonathan Clancy. I haven't done anything with streaming games at all. I think basically I was walking around and I made a cute sad face when I saw people playing cool games and they were like, "Oh, he's so adorable. We can't make him not sad," so they let me in here. My Twitter handle with is, I believe, Penguin8814. Hopefully, definitely starts with a penguin, but that shows you how much I use Twitter. So back to you.
Well, there you go. Okay, now let's do our character introductions. So give me the name of your character, their pronouns, what playbook they play, and just a general vibe of whom they are and what they do.
I'm guessing we're going back in the order. Me
You are
first
correct.
once again. Let's go. So I said before, I'm playing Colleen Yeager Anwin, who uses she, her pronouns. She is the para-romantic, which is probably my favorite playbook. Vibe is basically just kind of punky, upbeat Pacific Northwesterner that happens into this place that also happens to be, married to a kind of monster. I'm not going to describe them, but it's going to be fun.
I am playing Nicholas Nick Loving. He uses he they pronouns. Overall vibes. Oh, he is the book we're using, The Mundane, tonight. And overall vibes, probably like a good old country boy with a heart of gold who's probably a bit of a menace / trickster as well.
All right. Then, like I said, I'm playing Krampus tonight, using the Monsters playbook. And surprise, this Krampus is not the big hulking Krampus we've seen in recent media. This is a more traditional Krampus, kind of lean, a mean, stern face, but it does not betray an inner anger. He's just very firm. He's a stoic personality. You'll see him wearing a Christmas hat and Christmas sweater because he loves Christmas.
Fair enough.
I'll be playing Herman Ives. He is the Divine Playbook because he is a Christmas elf whose job is to verify the entries on the naughty and nice list. Due to various things, he is now in Snowman's Point and he's trying to do good and help out those he sees on the list, whether to stay nice or to potentially stop being naughty. His vibe is, I'm going to keep on stealing this, Elton John, holly, jolly. I don't know if I'll do Elton John justice. Also, pretty much one of the most oblivious people you can find.
Wonderful.
Yep.
You love to see it.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into things. Alarm bells, they are ringing as the cold it is stinging. A wonderful night, a smash and grab sight, walking in a winter wonderland. As the camera drifts over the sleepy town of Clifton, Minnesota, the sound of alarm bells ring out into the snow-filled square. We pan over to Finders Keepers, a local antique store. The shopper Ethan walks down the stairs into the main shop holding a gun. After checking to see if the intruder is still there and notifying the authorities, they begin looking over the wares to the catalog to see what had been taken. As he gets further into the catalog, the panic begins to set in. We see the clipboard they had been holding clatter to the floor as Ethan runs to the back room, swears loudly, and then picks up their phone to make a few more calls. The camera pulls back out of the broken window and centers on the 40-foot snowman as it shifts from night to day. So we are in Clifton, Minnesota, and just arriving in town. So the first thing I want to ask is, what is everyone's holly jolly fit? What are you wearing on this snowy Christmas season day?
Someone that's not me go first, please. I was not
Yeah,
prepared for
I'll go
this.
first.
I'll
Between-
tell you what. I've already teased that I'm wearing a Christmas sweater and a Santa hat, but otherwise he is fully Winnie the Poohing. He is covered in thickly matted hair.
Oh,
You're not
God.
wearing
He's
pants?
no reason for pants. No, he's not wearing pants. He's a goat man.
Why wouldn't you?
Everything is tastefully concealed.
Yeah, we keep it PG-13.
If you guys, if you all would prefer that he wears pants, I can write that into the character. A set of like ski pants, or maybe some plaid pants.
You know,
Seasonally.
I don't necessarily think that this is going to be the thing that is going to break our narrative.
Right.
Pants or no pants.
I'm taking next level up. I'm taking the monstrous move. You get pants.
My favorite move.
I'll
What
tell
I
you
want when
though,
I need it, pants.
he is wearing leg warmers though.
Hold on,
Appropriately themed.
hold on. No, so now he's fuzzy because he's the goat man.
Uh-huh.
So he's covered in fur. So why does he need leg warmers?
He doesn't need them. He just likes them.
Fair enough.
So in that case, Herman has gotten up on. He has his white leather parker on. He's got his nice bow tie, as you saw. The shirt is mostly green, but it's probably all sorts of shades of candy and cookies and stuff. The other part is that he has a necklace on, and he has a small, very white crystal on that necklace. And lastly, he goes, I assume maybe he sees out there, and he sees Krampus there waiting for the day, and he's happy because Krampus is wearing the leg warmers that he got him. So that makes him joyful in the end.
It was so thoughtful of you.
I know. I saw them and I thought this is great. I thought you.
This is his vibe, for sure.
I guess for Nick, he kind of showed up in like a big snow coat, probably like a big leather jacket, like a bunch of pins on it, like from local shops and like places he's visited. He's probably got like a Christmas bolo tie. Like I think it'd be like a pair of bells, maybe, kind of like with a little like red jewel in the middle, just like festive vibes. Probably underneath, he's got like a little button up. It's one of those things that's like he should be wearing way more many layers, but he's one of those like, I'm too cool for this. But other than that, he's got kind of like a space shirt on. He absolutely like adores space. It was probably a shirt that like either Colleen got from her for Clancy, or not Clancy. I don't know. I looked at your name, not for Herman, I should say. Probably Herman, since he wants to go to space someday. But yeah, he's rocking that.
I feel like Colleen is dressed to either go cross-country skiing or to go get Starbucks iced coffee, specifically iced coffee. And like you can't tell
As she
until
should.
it actually happens.
I
Like-
like coffee in the cold, always.
like the black not overalls, but kind of like long sleeve shirt, like probably leg warmers, like the very bright, probably Patagonia jacket, just like the most like Pacific Northwest core woman that you've probably ever seen without actually like being able to pinpoint it.
I adore that, but also you mentioned going cross country skiing, and
She doesn't
now
have a hat. No, she has like little like earmuffs maybe, but no
yeah.
hat.
Well,
She
one
has
thing
too
that
much
comes
hair.
along with being a pararomantic is you have a partner, Idris.
Yeah.
And all I can imagine right now is Idris, your himbo husband, wearing the ski suit from that episode of The Simpsons where Flanders is there. He's like, I'm just wearing, it's like wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Idris is probably wearing shorts. It's just I can't
He's
fucking
that guy.
massive. He's probably like 6'5" or something.
Dang.
Built like a truck, but also just like generally like he's not we're not actually going cross country skiing. Just like kind of doofy, just kind of a wife guy.
So we did have
Excellent.
a question from Will in the chat about whether Krampus would wear Santa propaganda. His Christmas sweater is literally him hugging Santa. So I just want that out in the open.
Adorable.
He is part of the North Pole organization where I see Herman as an analyst. He's the field agent. He's an enforcer. You know, it's that classic Julius Stiles, Matt Damon Bond that we've all been looking for.
I love it. Speaking of bonds, before I forget, let's talk about histories. Monster of the Week, when you play Monster of the Week, one of the essential things to like character creation and forming your group is picking two histories to go with two of the other players that you're going with. So you're not just going in with you meet in a tavern, here you go kind of vibes. So who wants to go first? I'm not going to volunteer Amelia again.
I appreciate the candor.
I'll jump in. So the two history prompts that I've chosen is that for Krampus, I knew when I first met Krampus, and that he was at heart a good and righteous person, and we've had long chats, we've worked multiple times, and I know that he has a good heart. So I want to work with him to keep on making sure niceness prevails, and but also to make sure he stays that way, to make sure that nothing naughty happens to him. And but the other history prompt is Nick. Nick and I go a long way back, and as a Christmas elf, I don't know much about this human stuff. I still remember the one time we had a very long conversation because I was confused why TikTok was named TikTok when it had absolutely nothing to do with watches. And whenever I have a question about moral stuff, Nick is the person I go to.
Wonderful.
All right, I can go next since I was tied to that history. Most of the monstrous backgrounds involve murdering people or not being murdered by people, and that's not really the vibe that I'm going for as
Fair.
part of this larger Christmas bureaucracy. Um, so I think I could certainly see a situation in which uh, Herman and Krampus fought together, not necessarily a physical fight, but a fight against the bureaucracy at the North Pole. Um,
Stick
they've modernized their methods. Krampus is no longer charged with terrorizing children. He is simply there to offer an alternative path. Sometimes that involves some mild punishment. He might eat your Christmas candy, he might not, but you will learn your lesson at the end of the day. His goal is to make sure that kids turn out nice, not to punish them for being naughty. However, he does have a pure drive, and that is cruelty. So when he sees naughtiness, he has to roll to resist the urge to punish it.
Nice.
And then I think maybe in the case of Nick and Colleen, they have probably both been on the cusp of the naughty list a few times, maybe even making an appearance or two from year to year. And Krampus has been watching from afar as he reads all of Herman's reports, and he's been following these cases. So he's finally come to uh, our town of, what is it, Snow Point?
Clifton.
Clifton.
Yeah.
He's come to the town of Clifton to render punishment as necessary, or to more likely to congratulate Herman on a job well done.
Nice.
I can take it next. Basically for histories, I know Nick is connected with Herman. Basically, they go back probably when Nick was a kid. Definitely, probably stole some dog treats for his dog. Nick has an old Irish wolfhound he calls Old Handsome. So it was probably a matter of like taking some dog treats, ended up on the naughty list, and that was like a big kind of thing they had to talk about. And then probably together, both Herman and Colleen introduced Nick to like the monstrous side of the world. I think was very much like, oh, so like you're an elf and you've got a husband that's what? And like I think it was very much kind of introduced of like, I think it'd be very funny depending. I know Colleen, you haven't said too much about Aegis, but I think it'd be funny if they met at a dog park, depending on what kind of monster he is. But yeah, that's how all of them are connected.
You know, I had it out and I completely. Give me one moment, but I do remember that again with Nick. Nick may have seen something of Idris and be like, "Hey, why is your husband a fucking hellhound
Right.
werewolf thing right now?" And Colleen basically is just like, "Well, it's a long story," and like basically explaining that. And then otherwise, like Colleen doesn't necessarily live in town, but visits pretty frequently and is quickly bonded to Herman because again, like Herman is, as I said before, and as Clancy said, Christmas Elton John. Like who doesn't love that? And so like we're tight.
Love it.
That's basically it.
Wonderful. So I think what has happened is early this morning, you guys received a call from Ethan, and my note says Ethan, not Winters. That's copyrighted.
Oh my God! We're surprise, guys! We're in Christmas Resident Evil.
No, that's copyrighted.
Colleen is 8.5 feet tall and apparently thick. So,
so you received a call from local shop proprietor Ethan to come take a look at their shop, and they wanted to talk to you about last night's break-in. And so I'm assuming Colleen, you would pull up in your
my Lancia Delta Integrale.
Yeah, thank you. I could not remember the name of it. Your rally car.
Beautiful specimen of the car. Thank you to my friends that recommended it. Like just the exact amount of like mom sedan and like rally car. Just perfect.
The perfect mixture. Yeah, so you guys will pull up to Finders Keepers. You see the window has been smashed in. Thankfully, Ethan had some boards laying around to kind of cover it up and keep the snow out. And that's where we find ourselves. As
a quick interrupt. So
yeah.
I don't know if you want me to roll this now or wait until we get a little bit more into the mystery, but I did take the boss from Beyond. And at the beginning of each mystery, I get to roll weird. On a 10 plus, your superiors ask you to do something small. On a 7 to 9, they ask you to do something complicated or difficult. In either case, you get to ask them one question from the investigate a mystery move right now. This is why I'm fine with waiting a little bit, because I don't know what to ask at this point, but it's up to you if you want me to roll right now.
Let's talk to Ethan first,
Okay.
and then we'll trigger that real quick, okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, everyone is in this wonderful old-timey antique store that we see here. And Ethan kind of comes out and around. He's a smaller guy, around like 5'2", blue hair and kind of a faux hawk kind of method. And he comes around and says, "Oh, thank you guys so much for coming. I didn't really know who else to call about this. You guys were the closest people I
just
knew
fucking grip it, baby.
knew about
Slop
this sort
that
of
down,
thing.
dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the
Is it
big boy.
weirdness issue? And I kind of like look around. Like, it just looks like kind of a break-in.
Well, that's the thing, right? I can't tell the cops about this because I don't want them finding this. But in addition to selling you all these wonderful antiques, I also do happen to keep a private stock of safe storage for magical items. And here's the issue. When they broke in last night, they didn't take the very nice Gibson Firebird that was left out. They specifically went to my back room and stole some very dangerous magical items.
This is very naughty.
This is not good at all. Oh no.
Oh,
Yes, exactly.
They could pull so many pranks.
It
can
The
you imagine
least of
such a thing?
No. What?
And you're just holding on to it the whole time? Did any of you know about this? And I looked at Idris. I'm like, did you know about this?
Oh, what? I didn't know anything about this. No, I'm sorry. He's over here still snacking on his like egg McMuffin from this morning's breakfast trip. He was over like looking at the retro game section. And he's like, "Oh, what's happening here?"
Probably to follow up, Herman would have said something, but he was also at the retro game section looking at all the bright lights and stuff.
It's fair. Hey, yeah, you guys can get that later. Thanks.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and spend your money here. That'd be awesome. But dangerous magical items released to the populace.
Well, certainly there must be some way of tracking them.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not great at that. I'm more of a keeper of secrets kind of thing, and not necessarily a divine and divinate and find what's going on. Here's the thing. It hasn't been that long. I highly doubt that anyone who knew enough to get into this store and get past my security would have been able to get that far. So what I really, really need you guys to do is go and talk to the people who are around today, see what you hear. With this much stuff kind of going out into the ether, something's bound to turn up. I can give you a general idea of what seems to have been taken, but I really need you guys to kind of go canvass the area and see what you can find. Cool?
Okay.
Yeah,
Why only a general idea? Like, do you not know exactly what was stolen?
Well, they did take quite a few things.
Can we
So
like see the back room? Is that okay?
Yeah, you got any like security cameras or anything?
yeah. I mean, we have some security. Um, you can go and take a look around if you want. That's fine.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
up to. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I'd like to have a. I think Krampus would like to have a look around. Um, I think he's going to start off. He's going to get real close to the ground and just start sniffing around for clues.
Cool. Roll investigate a mystery.
First roll.
And
You
Herman.
thought Idris would be the first one to smell the floor.
Nope, apparently not.
I will go over to my husband, like, and you can resolve this during. I'll be like, well, I'm gonna check out more of here. Can you just go into town, see if anyone's panicking, and if they are, just give me a call, okay?
Yeah, sure. I'll
Yeah.
absolutely go do that.
Awesome.
Do you want me to take the car? You should have the car. I can be very
Honey,
fast.
You're.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love you,
go.
dear,
That
but you're driving. You're better on all fours. So just that phrasing, goddamn it.
I never said no to that.
And like,
We'll,
let's
we'll,
be
we'll
real.
talk,
Idris
we'll
is
talk
like,
more about that one later. Yeah, I can be very fast. I'll
thank you, Will.
go.
Like Idris
Yeah,
is like probably Kratos' wife guy enough that it'll just be like,
yeah, very not necessarily intelligent. Yeah, Idris goes ahead and heads out the door. Herman, you go ahead and roll your boss from beyond. And Krampus, what did you get for your investigative mystery?
I have not rolled it yet. So that is plus sharp. Krampus is on all fours and he's running his tongue along the floorboards and up around the door frame looking for clues.
Oh. Patently concerning.
He has what I can only describe as a 24-inch long tongue. I'm sure it will come up with something.
Well, you got a 7.
All right.
Or no. You didn't get a 7 on that. You got an 8. So that is a mixed success for your investigate a mystery. So on investigate a mystery, you get a mixed success. You get one question. I'm going to assume that you are not necessarily familiar with the list. So it is up here at the top of your character sheet.
Okay.
So your questions are: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
Well, given the context clues that I have boxed myself into, I'd like to know what sort of creature is it? That feels like something you can get from your sense of taste.
Yeah. Terrifying. Yeah, so you lick the general area. And what you seem to find is that you taste multiple different kinds of rubber. And some of those you can like recognize from I'm having to invent in this moment that Krampus has a deep knowledge of what different brands of shoes taste like, which is fucking wild.
To be fair, he is a goat man. So
Goats
not to be
will eat
stereotypical.
anything.
He's a goat man, so
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, these LL Bean shoes are very delicious.
which is great. So you can tell like you can tell and you can recognize that like the Dockers that Ethan is wearing, you understand what that is. And so you recognize that taste. But there's another taste here of some vans. And you look around and you realize I'm making an audible call unless somebody really, really wanted to be wearing Vans in this scene that no one else in the room is wearing Vans.
This tastes like Vans. Did you mop the floor at the end of your shift?
No.
You're not wearing Vans.
Ethan's like kind
They're
of
not wearing
defensive
Vans.
about it because like I should, but I didn't.
It's very fresh. The rubber's on the floor.
Colleen is mildly perturbed by this.
This-
and asks Ethan if she can go into the back where all the magic stuff is kept.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Sorry
your question, Herman, was what sort of creature is it?
It's a teenager or a very immature man.
Yeah, I personally feel called
Not
out
to assume
because I almost
gender.
exclusively wear Vans, so thank you, Ryan, for that.
He's perhaps an adult child.
Or someone who's wearing a Snorlax shirt right now. That's fine.
You'd have to look at the walls to get that.
I'm just glad to find out that our GM's character insert is the off-screen burglar.
It's just me. It's just me again.
The real mystery all along was that the GM was literally behind everything.
Who would have thought? Yeah, you know that the person who broke in here was a human, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Not a magical creature of any sort.
Yeah,
So let's do Herman's Boss from Beyond, and then we'll get to Colleen looking at the back room.
I got a mixed success on it. I got an 8. So that means they ask me to do something complicated or difficult, but I still get to ask them one question from the investigate a mystery move. If you allow me to narrate, an idea I had for like how I get in contact with stuff is that I pull out of nowhere a small battered notebook, and this is how I get the entries on the nice and naughty list I need to verify. I can like flip through it, and at the front will be the ones that I want to check. But it's the book of sand. If I flip through the pages, I'll spend like 5 minutes going through the pages, and it won't reach the end. So I assume that's how they contact me, through that book.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's very cool. So you pull out your notebook, and you start going through it, kind of on just instinct.
Mhm.
And materializing on this page is this message from the head office, essentially a message from the home office.
The big man.
Yeah. Oh, the big man.
The big man. The big red man is sending you a message, and
Satan.
he says,
Surprise!
yeah, he says, magical items, dangerous, bring back in for reinspection. And so the big man wants you to take at least one magical item from this mystery back to the North Pole for investigation and possibly deconstruction.
Gotcha. And for the question that I want to ask, I think I'm going to go with the mysterious one, which is what is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here?
Mhm.
Okay. I think as you are looking around at this antique store, you start going over to the point of entry, the window. And I think you see that this thief was a bit sloppy, and they cut their shirt on their window. And you see the like scrap of a dark blue hoodie that has been left on the window pane from the glass cutting at it.
Gotcha. I will point this out to everyone. You're like, oh, it appears that someone might have scratched themselves or at least ripped their clothing. It's kind of a shame. It's decent material.
Good stuff.
Well, that's very interesting. So you're saying they had, and you said it's just a scrap of the cloth of a hoodie, right?
Yep.
So it seems to me that if we find the rest of this hoodie, we will know who our culprit is.
Yeah. So far, you know that they wear a dark blue hoodie and they wear Vans.
Yeah,
I'm just describing myself on a Saturday at this point.
Quickly, put out an APB. Get Interpol on the line.
Wonderful. So, Colleen, you wanted to look at the back room and the magical items.
I'm not sure if anyone else wanted to come with, but I mean, if this guy's stuff got stolen, then might as well check out the stuff that wasn't stolen. So
Yeah, Nick, you were also asking about some security cameras, right?
Yeah, he was gonna see if we could get like a better shot of the whoever came in and how many, I guess.
Yeah. So Ethan will say, "Okay, you two go ahead and come with me. The security tape is just right over here." And so Ethan will sit you down at the security footage and let you kind of go over it for a second. And he says, "Okay, these are the tapes from last night. It happened somewhere around 3 a.m. And Colleen, this is our magical storage. Let me just undo some of the ruins here." And he takes like a piece of chalk and marks through some engravings that have been made along the like doorway of this hallway that only has like one entrance in. So basically, it's a long hallway with just storage shelves along both sides and at the end. And so there's only like one point of egress into this room or out of this room. He's like, okay, yeah, go ahead and look over things. You can see the catalog numbers and the descriptions of some of the plates as you go. And so both of you go ahead and roll investigate and mystery as you're kind of looking over these pieces of information.
I had a slightly different thing that I wanted to do.
Oh yeah,
Relevant,
please.
but not exactly whatever. As he's undoing the seal, Colleen's going to take off her gloves that she's been using to keep warm and be like, well, I did not expect this here, but thank you. And then look over to Nick and be like, you've seen this before, but just don't be surprised. I would like to use my move Spirit Touched.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So my experiences have made me sensitive to the supernatural. When I sense magical things, I can roll plus weird. And like success, I sense them fully. On a 7 to 9, it's a mixed success, or they see me. But with the pararomantic move, I can use charm instead. But if I fail, it's bad. And knowing my dice luck, if you watch any of my shows, it's bad. So let's see.
I am bracing myself as we speak.
No plus forward. That is technically higher than average. That's an 8 for me.
Okay, wonderful. So let's talk about Nick. You got a full success on your investigative mystery. So you get 2 questions. 2 questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here? So I think what you see as you are going through this footage is you see a man around 5'9", kind of come in through the window of Finders Keepers. Quickly like scope out the room as they're going along, and they're kind of methodical about it. They are going around and they're like, okay, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, and they make their way behind the counter and something pings for them, and they take a look at the doorway that you see Colleen standing in the area of, and they reach up and mark some of their own sigils along that doorway, and then walk through. They take out their bag, they walk through, and a few minutes later they return. It looks like that bag is a bit fuller than it had been previously, as they make their way back out of the area.
Yeah, I think Will is for like at the computer and kind of turns back like so Colleen can hear him and kind of go, this guy was picking through this like a fine-tooth comb, Colleen. I mean, he did some fancy fingerings and now something's gone. I don't know what though. It was in a bag.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, boss.
Yeah, just fucking rip it,
Colleen's
baby.
basically
Slop
summoning
that
this
down,
spectral
dude.
hellhound.
Yeah, dude,
It's
crack
just like
one for the
basically
big
a
boy.
smaller version of an all-white husky. I don't know if Nick's aware of this, so it's just like it's slowly forming, and just going to be basically like kind of sniffing through the aisles, and this kind of like, I don't know, ghost sense. I didn't think this through.
Yeah. So Nick, what are your 2 questions from Investigate a Mystery?
Let me go look at that. I guess. Because some of these we've kind of been through. I guess maybe what can it do, and maybe go into more of like if maybe Colleen or someone would recognize those symbols if he kind of like calls them over there, maybe, and then maybe for a second one.
Yeah, just fucking grip it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
Yeah, dude, like,
crack one for the big
these
boy.
questions already in terms of
they're not all winners. If you
Yeah.
want to, you could also do a flexible alternative if that works better for you.
Okay.
So the flexible alternative rules are you can ask 2 general questions just
Okay.
about the situation, or 1 very specific question. Whatever
Okay.
works best for you. I commonly use both options interchangeably according to like the context of the situation, because sometimes like the sex questions don't really kind of vibe with what
Right.
you need in the moment. That's fine.
Hmm.
If you want to think about that for a second, I can
Yeah.
go back over to okay, cool. So Amelia, Colleen, you summon your little puppo to kind of go through the shelves with you, and you sense, yeah, this place is magic as hell. There's a whole lot going on here. I think so. You can sense magical things on a 7 to 9. You either sense them fully, but they notice you, or you sense impressions.
Yeah, just fucking grip it, baby.
Let's make this interesting.
Slop that down, dude.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, crack one for the
you
big boy.
get the vibe. I think what happens here is as it's kind of a paralleled viewing experience as Nick is going over this camera footage. You use your senses and feel through this hellhound exactly what this person did, and you feel the magic kind of well up in them, and leave their own marks on this door. And it's almost like you're watching the security camera footage yourself from like a first person view. So you'd be like placed kind of behind the person who's doing this. But something changes from this. And as you see them kind of go over and they use this magic to disable these alarms and these triggers, they stop for a moment and they turn around and they look directly at you. And then they continue on their way.
Hate that so much. Hate it. I mean, I guess I could just keep on looking. Do I get a sense of like the nature of the stolen items, plural? I'm not quite sure if there were multiple.
Yeah. As you go over the room and you get kind of an idea of what's going on, you see a display for an umbrella that apparently was a very powerful magic staff.
Shut the
A
fuck
a set of bells that had it's curious to you because they have some sort of necromantic magic, but you can tell that they work in reverse. So instead of bringing dead up, they put dead back down.
Is this a Toll of Dead reference? I'm really trying.
It's a Sabriel reference.
Oh.
You see a set of keys that it seems like these keys would fit for any possible doorway that they could work for. Cursed locket, which is just a classic mainstay of any magical items shop. A old hat that seemed to have some sort of ghostly presence attached to it, and an N64. And you discover that the magic of play was the true magic of this item.
All right. Well, I think Krampus, upon hearing Nick's exclamation, walks over and stands behind him and looks and says, "Yeah, I figured all this out already. It's that guy. He's got the sweatshirt. He's got the Vans. He's yay tall."
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was just trying to see if I could get like a different angle on him, or if I could see like maybe it wasn't blue, maybe it was like cerulean or something like that, just to kind of like finer details per se.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, this is our guy, and it's a very spankable offense. I think we could follow up.
True.
We still don't know. This is both like in character and to the keeper. We still don't know the nature of the thing that was stolen. Correct? Like, it could be like wildly different. Because I'm anticipating like we go back downtown, something explodes, and then we go investigate. But it may not be like that.
It might not be like that, but you do at the very least now know the items that are missing from this lockup.
Oh, so all those items were stolen. I
Yes.
thought those were the ones that were there. Okay.
Those were the items that you kind of saw the blank space in the shelf and then read the like information card on them.
Okay. It was Taz. It was Toll the Dead. It was Ghost Odd Job Hat, an N64, and some other thing I completely forget. Oh, the Cursed
It's okay.
Locket.
I put the list of these items in the chat on the Roll20.
Oh,
nice.
Nick, before I forget, investigate a mystery question.
Yes, I was thinking. I was gonna say, and we can, if you don't like it, we can go back. I guess I was gonna go for two kind of more like just ordinary questions per se.
Yeah.
I guess depending on how many security cameras are, I know we're looking at the ones inside, but if you could thumb through and maybe find if there's any on the outside, like what direction this person ran off in, just to give them like a head start.
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely. I think you flip through the different feeds to get the one that would be like right above the doorway, so we get that like nice facing down at like a leftward angle shot of the window, and you see this person crawl back out through the window, which is kind of just rude at that point. You could just use the door. But hey, whatever. You scratched up your hoodie in the first place, so it's your fault.
Right.
Yeah, so they crawl back out through the window, and as they leave, they go up to the right, further towards Town Square.
Okay. And then my second question was, and I know, I guess Now that I think about it, maybe it wouldn't. It doesn't matter. I was gonna say, did this person look like, as they were going out the window per se, was it more like, kind of like, did it look like a normal human just bursting out of a window? Did they use anything to break it? Was it almost like, that seems not like a weird monstrous thing that transformed and then shoved out a window, kind of per se? Like, what did that kind of instant look like?
Yeah, I think you just see them pull out a crowbar.
Okay,
And
fair.
and they like put it through the window. They kind of clear the glass a little bit, clean it up just a little bit to try and get back through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nick will kind of, like, say, they went down that way, down yonder. So we can start looking over there if we want. But other than that, I guess he's got a weapon, maybe a crowbar. I mean, I got a crowbar in the back of my truck as well, so like we're pretty even there. But other than that, that's about it.
And again, this was like several hours ago,
Right.
so it's not like, oh, it was just 20 minutes ago. We can catch them at Downton Square. Like they could effectively be anywhere in town.
Out of town completely by now.
Just skip town.
Drove
Who
away.
knows?
They're
That
gone.
wouldn't necessarily be convenient to the mystery, but sure.
Krampus is going to go right back over to the shopkeeper and say, "Is there anything else you're not telling us? Anything at all that might have slipped your mind?" And specifically here, I'm leaning heavily on the flake ability that I picked up. At first, the monsters has an option to something borrowed, take a move from another hunter playbook that's not currently in play, and I chose Suspicious Mind. If someone lies to me, I know it.
Okay. Yeah, I think you kind of lean in and you push out this kind of intimidating aura to
Goat breath.
Ethan. Goat breath. He's like, well, I don't necessarily see how this is related, but I did cheat on my taxes because I don't believe in paying the government for war propaganda. So there is that.
This is very naughty, but this is a good reason. It's a very good reason.
This is important. Why we updated things back home. I think we should make an action report of this in the end. Cheated on taxes, but justified.
Yeah, he did not do it for his own gain. I mean, he kept the money.
There you go.
Did you have any charitable contributions?
What has been weighing on his mind?
Well, no, just if anything was missed, we caught it. So he told the truth about that, and I appreciate it. He gets Krampus points. Krampus reaches into his sweater pocket and pulls out a little gold Christmas star sticker and sticks it to his chest.
Oh my god!
Wonderful. I have to make a note.
That's how we know everything's gone bad. We get there and we see the main bad guy. He has a gold Christmas star, and we're like, "Oh, it was you the entire time."
I actually am Ethan Winters. Just takes out a fucking shotgun.
Oh no! That escalated quickly.
With that said, Krampus is going to step outside. Nick has directed us towards where the direction this person fled.
Yes.
Are there appropriately sized vans' footprints in the snow?
Yes.
Does it just say vans running off into the distance?
Yes. And they are running up, actually, to the winter market, because today is a very important day here in Clifton, because it is the Rudolph family's annual ice sculpture competition and Christmas festival.
Oh, this sounds very festive.
Very festive, very busy. And these footprints will lead you up, right up to the sign-up sheet. for this area, and you see a pretty prim and proper woman kind of sitting at a desk, freezing in one of those large puffy coats, and she has her blonde hair kind of done up in strange, odd configurations above her head. And she says, "Oh, hello. My name is Cindy Lewis. How can I help you guys today? Are you here to sign up for the competition? I love your costume, sir."
Oh, thank you. I've been working on it all year. Things are really starting to show.
Oh,
Is this place within like walking distance? I'm guessing like across the street or something.
just like up the road.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
and
didn't
to
know
be-
if I needed to bring my car, and if we would have all piled in.
Krampus lifts his shirt a little bit, revealing that he is pretty darn cut. He's been doing those Christmas crunches all year.
Yeah, Cindy blushes a little bit. She's like, "Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas to me." Okay.
No.
Yeah, how can I help you?
Yes, I heard that there was. First of all, you look very cold. And I'm going to do my move to what I need when I need it, and basically like from out. It looks like I'm pulling it out from behind my back. And I have like a warm mug of hot cocoa for her. And like perhaps you need a little bit of this, Christmas and Christmas cheer. I heard there was an ice sculpture contest, and I think I'd be tickled pink if I could sign up for it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow, what a wonderful, what a great magic trick. How do you keep it warm?
Well, it's a little bit of cheer and magic.
The
Oh, of
magic of
course.
insulation.
Cheer magic and like not actually said cheer magic and asbestos.
I like the mental justification from like a mundane standpoint of this man has like a thermos on a spout strapped to his back to where no one can see it, and he just like keeps mugs on him all the time. So he's also like, "All right, I got my mug here," and he's done this often enough that he can like put the mug to the spigot, push the spigot, knows exactly how much to pour without spilling over, and can do all of this without burning himself.
I'm a very good Christmas elf, all right? That was the first month of training, how to handle Christmas foods without harming yourself. Still can't get it, like still don't have a handle on snickerdoodles. That's their own sort of beast.
Cool. Quick question, because I forget specifically. Did you say that the footprints led up directly to this desk or just to the competition in general?
To this desk and then like on past it.
Okay.
So yeah. So okay. What is your name, sir?
Herman Ives. Ives.
Wonderful. And when anybody else wants to sign up for the sculpture competition today, we take all ranges from beginning sculptors to master's level.
Interesting. I was about to ask if we can do that for a group, but that's less important. We're actually looking for someone that might have come through here, maybe even have signed up. You actually are standing above his footprints right now. And we just didn't know if he also signed up, and if you could tell us that maybe. It's kind of we kind of go back a bit. And I'm trying not to lie, mostly because I know Krampus is going to kick my ass by
Krampus knows.
But I also want to manipulate someone, and I can't do both very well.
Krampus leans in and says, "Yeah, it's a Secret Santa thing."
Oh, yeah.
It is a Secret Santa thing.
Yeah. Very Secret Santa.
Yeah, go ahead and roll manipulate someone, and we will see how much information we can get out of this.
Yeah.
And can I roll to help out?
Absolutely,
If I roll
if they
bad,
need it.
but knowing my history, probably. Never mind. That's a full success.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
there we go.
That never happens. Thank you.
Let's see if I make it
Roll20.
worse, though.
Yeah.
Nope.
I
We're all
wouldn't be
good.
surprised if
Okay.
whoever didn't sign up. I think it was kind of late. Have you been here just this morning, or were you here last night?
Oh, I mean, we only started signups this morning. Can you give me their name or anything about them that I would be able to tell
Yeah,
you
I
who
can
this
give you
is?
like exactly 3 things.
Okay, that's an odd way to describe a person, but sure, go ahead.
They're wearing a dark hoodie, if I remember correctly. They're
Uh-huh.
wearing like really stylish shoes. I'm guessing Vans are stylish. I'm not really like in, and they might have had like a crowbar or some other like ice sculpting tools at hand. Let's
Oh,
go with
wow, that
that.
sounds vaguely intimidating.
Yeah. We just had some concerns we wanted to go over with him.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to remember if
Probably
I rem- hmm.
like maybe teenage, maybe like at the very most 19.
Yeah, there was one man who signed up earlier. I think yeah,
It's gonna be the most bullshit name. I'm prepared.
yeah, his name is Willie Shakes. I think
Not
maybe you're looking for Willie Shakes. Does that sound familiar?
Krampus reaches into his pocket and pulls out a list and starts checking it.
Oh, Willie Shakes absolutely appears on the naughty list. Absolutely.
like bright, like highlight, like notes for
Like
the big
Krampus-
man. Do not miss. Willie
Krampus's
Shakes.
big yellow eyes go wide. He goes, "That sounds very familiar." And he puts the list away.
That's not intimidating or upsetting at all.
It's
Boy,
very
howdy,
good hot
do I
cocoa.
love Christmas, and also this wonderful hot chocolate that you gave me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So William, or I'm not actually quite sure if Willie is what he prefers, signed up. So do you happen to know if he's around? I'm sorry if this is a bit much. It's just things have happened all of a sudden, and we're just trying to get to the, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think he came
This
through.
woman does not know.
He came through a few hours ago, and he dropped off a package for my boss, and then went on with the competition. But he did sign up for the ice sculptor
A
competition,
package?
so I'm sure if anything, you'll be able to find him there.
A package? And no one. I don't mean to be rude, but this person that you never met dropped off a package for your boss, and no one thought that was suspicious whatsoever.
Oh no, I mean it's Christmas. We get Christmas presents all the time, and my boss is a banker. I have couriers come and drop things off all the time for them. So no, that's not.
Who is your boss?
Oh,
Is a banker?
um,
I'm
I
still
work
looking-
for. I'm trying to find his name. I work for Mr. Wigglesworth. Mr. Charles Wigglesworth, our head banker at the First Bank of Clifton.
There you go.
Ah, yes, Mr. Vigglesworth. We know his work well.
Oh yeah, he's so fun. Always giving back to the community and working to make sure things go so smoothly around here. I'm sure he'll be around today. He's emceeing today's events.
That's so convenient. Did you say that this was like we could sign up as a group?
Yeah, absolutely. We take group competition sections and also individuals.
Yeah, if you could just like kind of pen all of us in, because this seems really exciting. And I like looked at I looked at everyone like kind of panicking, like, yeah, exciting.
This is very
What's up,
festive. I'm quite excited to go into this. I don't know what we will sculpt, but I think we will sculpt great.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be wonderful.
Mhm.
We have so many great competitors here.
Do we see any sculptures right now, or is it like still in mid sculpt, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, some people have already finished their competition for today. You see a large man in a karate gi who apparently has been just like full on karate chopping his sculpture apart. But he made a statue of Moomin with a shotgun, which is odd but wild. It looks like it's going to take a significant prize in the solo category for sure.
Like Moomin with it, like holding a shotgun, or the cooler thing, did a Moomin sculpture by hitting it with a shotgun over and over.
¿Por qué no los dos? That's the question I present to you today. Why not?
So she mentioned a package. Is the package visible?
Oh, no. My boss already came in and picked up his wares.
Okay. Well, I think we should check out where the bank is at and find out what this gentleman left for him.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you so much for signing up. I'm sure I can't wait to see what you guys come up with for your ice sculpture. It's gonna be great.
When do we need to be done?
Yeah,
When do
very important.
the people who are playing need to be done?
No. This is in character. When do we need the sculpture to be
The ice
done?
sculpture.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the sculpting contest will finish up around 6 p.m. So we have a little bit of time before judging finishes. And you would know, like right now it's like mid-afternoon, it's like 4. So you have time for this.
Okay.
This is a very big responsibility signing up for such an important competition because it is a way of spreading Christmas cheer. So we must be sure to wrap up everything else that we are doing so that we can make sure that we get our sculpture done in time.
Indeed, and absolutely nothing will happen that will potentially wreck that sculpture in the process.
Well, yes, we're putting a lot on our plates.
Yeah,
I'm for it. Your spirit is always so inspiring, Herman.
Oh, I can't do it alone. It's all you guys too. You just warm my heart.
Oh my gosh.
Boy howdy, I just love Christmas and I love the energy that you guys are bringing to this table.
Aw.
All right, off we go then.
Did you say that in character or out of character? Because I can't tell.
Okay, let's do
Yes, but also Cindy Lewis takes a sip of her Christmassy mug. I like to imagine that this mug is also like a themed mug.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah. Herman, what is the Christmassy theme design that you have given this sweet lady?
I have to probably think of one that isn't copyright related either. Here's what it is. At least on this particular mug, because it's my favorite animal and it's Christmas. It looks like a bar, in dressed with like there's mistletoe and stuff, and there's a penguin that's the bartender. But instead of like the tap being beer, it is like there is hot chocolate. There is there's one that's marked hot cider. There's one that's marked a wassail, I think it is.
Oh, wassail.
A wassail. So it's the penguin is pouring Christmas themed drinks.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
He's wearing a little Santa hat.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. So as you are kind of moving through past the sign up desk, you enter into this winter market. There are various colorful lanes of displays of people who are peddling warm drinks and food. There's a man with a kettle corn stand. Some carnival games going on. People are milling about, selling various wares. And an older man is kind of going between crowds of people, seeming to kind of talk to them for a little bit and then get brushed off and go along their way.
I am going to call my husband because the situation has kind of changed.
Hello? Yeah.
Hi, Idris. It's Colleen. Because I know you don't know how caller ID works yet. Have you seen anything suspicious downtown?
Well,
So I'm
came
guessing you're
through.
downtown.
Yeah, I came through and I saw that they're doing a festival today. I'm surprised that we didn't hear about it. I went ahead and signed up for the ice sculpture competition. I hope that's okay.
Wait, you signed up for the competition?
Oh
How
man.
did we not see your name on the list? You can just
Yeah,
join
yeah,
our group.
I signed
I'm
up.
sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Unless you already did one, in which case, can we join your group instead? Because none of us actually know how to do this.
Oh, sorry, man. I actually already finished mine.
Can we borrow
it's
yours, please?
No. We can do this. We can do this.
Hey,
We
Herman says we
have.
can do this. Never mind.
I
Yeah,
believe
no.
in us. And trust
You're-
me, if I know how to. I'm trying to think of the way to phrase like to hit things and shape them into things because of my previous career. So I think we can do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you signed up with Herman, I'm sure that you're going to be fine. I mean, like, I just made a little Pac-Man thing. It was fine. It is perfectly spherical, but that's
I was
not
gonna
that
say,
important.
did you just make a ball and then just like punch your mouth into it? Whatever. Anyways, so situation's kind of changed. We're actually at the winter market now. Did you? Okay, two things. Do you happen to see anyone in a dark hoodie? Because that's probably who we're looking for. But also, did you see any important money-looking guy? I don't want to say banker, but money-looking guy. You know?
The Monopoly guy.
The Monopoly Man. Yeah, I did see. There was kind of a more rotund man walking around with like a big. What do they call it? The thing that the
Tuxedo?
Monopoly guy wears on his head.
Hat?
Top hat?
Combat?
Yeah. Top hat.
Hold on, honey. Would that be something that the banker would wear? Just like a big top hat and just generally just a big guy?
I think bankers are the only ones allowed to wear top hats.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably right.
Legally, this is the truth.
You're either,
So-
if you have a top hat, you're either a banker or a Batman villain.
Or a James Bond
Por
villain.
qué no los
That too.
dos? I present this question to you today.
So, listen very carefully. So we're not either the banker is in cahoots and is holding on to some of the contraband, wink wink, that we discussed earlier, or it's like a potentially like he may not know it and it could be like a very dangerous situation. Do you see where he went? Is he in his little bank or is he also in the winter market or downtown?
Yeah, I remember seeing him earlier here in the market.
Wait, you're also in the market? Did we just end up at the same place?
Yeah. Where
I
are
look around.
you?
Do I see him?
I'm by the Auntie Anne's stand. Where are you?
I look around. Do I see him?
Yeah, you look like slightly down the row,
Oh my
and you
God.
see him like kind of waving with his phone like in his hand, and then like kind of crooked into his arm is a big pencil.
Oh, okay. I run over, like, all right, so he's around. Whatever you do, do not talk to him. In fact, if you could just, like,
Do you want a
just
pencil?
kind of keep in.
Do you want a pencil?
Oh, yes, thank you. Anyone, like, is there enough for all of us? Like, anyone else?
Oh yeah. He just shifts around and pulls more anti-ants pretzels out of his bag.
Hell
What
yeah.
is this? I don't know what this bit is. All I've determined about this character is that he's an idiot. He likes video games and he's food, so he's basically just me.
So
Little do we
just
know
kind
that
of, can you like run point? Just kind of like go around, see if anything else is like kind of off. Like, I don't know, maybe an ice sculpture just looks a bit too good. Or if you see, I don't know, a crowbar, but I guess crowbars are more common in ice sculpture making, so
That's fair, I guess. With this perp, is that the word I'm supposed to use? I don't know. With this guy that I'm supposed to be looking for, do you have any sort of identifying item or feature or anything going on
emphasis on feature.
with that? Or maybe something I could maybe get his scent off of, with the whole wolf thing.
do we want to say we kept the scrap of blue cloth?
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
And I try to do this because, again, like, the relationship isn't hidden, but the true nature is. So not like a whole lot of people know. So I'm like, and I just give them like, yeah, if you could just hold on to this and not do anything suspicious. Have you seen this piece of cloth? And I like kind of put it in his face. Don't be so obvious. Oh my. And I give it right back to Herman.
Yeah.
Have you
I think that
seen
can.
it?
Yeah, I'll take a look around,
Yeah.
and see what I can dig up.
You're the best. Don't be weird, please. By God, please don't be weird.
Very good. What do I want from this? Because you're kind of just sending him off to do his own things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to just like, again, I don't want to like a separate like PC and I'm like, aha, now you must control. Like, and just giving
Yeah,
you the space to do bullshit, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we're gonna use your sharp, and I just want you to roll 2d6 plus 1.
Joy.
To determine like how effective Idris is with his finding things. It'll probably take him a little bit.
Apparently very. That's an 11.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
This is uncharacteristic of me. Maybe because it's not me, my character, but whatever.
Yeah, I think I can definitely help you out with this one. Yeah, Pookums. I'll go look at
She
this,
turns bright red.
and I'll call you in a little bit, okay?
Thanks, honey. As she's like still bright red.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye, sweetie. Love you. And he starts running off.
Oh my God, I can't.
All right.
Anyways, I've asked my husband to run point, so
Our collective
Our husband. He's our husband.
our husband. So, if anything weird happens, he's really good with weird stuff. So, great.
All right.
I think I wanted to actually approach the man who was sort of getting brushed off by people.
The guy floating around the crowd. I like that. Mind if I join you over there? And
Sure.
Krampus doesn't have a whole lot to say because he has an entire container of kettle corn that he's munching on. The kettle corn and the container. Like they're serving it in little Christmas buckets, and he's just going to town.
Yeah, and the shop owner, the kettle corn guy who's there, is like, "Hey, look at this guy. He loves kettle corn. It's great. Come, everybody, look at how much this guy loves my kettle corn. You should try some. Come get it."
The best part's the kettle.
They're served in like little cauldrons. I love that.
Nick, do you want to come with us, or is there something you want to do?
Oh, sorry. I was actually gonna go maybe the other way, just because out of character. I will have a move I'd like Nick to take, maybe after they talk to the guy milling about.
Oh, we can definitely do some spotlight shifting. That's fine.
I know the move for Nick was the like oops. It's like if you want to stumble across something important, just like tell the keeper. And I think it's something about let me find it. You'll find something important and useful, although not necessarily related to our immediate problem.
Wonderful, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, Nick, you kind of wander off into the crowd a little bit, and you're looking around, and I think what you run into is you run into a local business owner, actually, who is helping out with kind of organizing the area, and you kind of just come around the corner a little too quickly as you are looking around, and you just bump right into this woman, and she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been all caught up with everything here. Hey, let me help you up. I'm Alicia."
Oh, it was entirely my fault. I'm so sorry. My name's Nick. Sorry to get in your way today.
Yeah, it's no problem. Are you having a great time?
Yeah, we're just looking around. Me and a few friends signed up for the ice sculpturing, so I'm not sure what we're making just yet, but I think they've got a few ideas. So I was just kind of just browsing, just kind of I'm looking for somebody, but I haven't seen them around town yet. So this is kind of what I've been up to.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad that you're enjoying my family's event. That's
Oh,
fantastic.
your family's.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. My name is Alicia Rudolph. We kind of have been putting on this event here for the last few years, and it seems like it keeps growing bigger and bigger, and it really seems to be working nicely.
Oh, very nice. Are you like in charge of the whole thing, or are you just kind of milling about today?
A little bit of everything, kind of just helping to make sure things are organized, working with the local banker, Mr. Wigglesworth, to try and make sure everything goes smoothly.
Oh, we were just talking to the woman down at the booth. We're actually looking for Mr. Wigglesworth. If I don't know if you maybe passed him today or anything like that, but we've been. I don't know, maybe you saw him a few minutes ago or anything, but I would really love it. You would just make my day.
Oh yeah, no problem. I think, let's see, let me check my itinerary. Yes, Mr. Wigglesworth will be. Yeah, he should be up at the ski lift right now because they're going to be having a skiing competition soon. And so he'll
Okay.
be doing the announcements for that.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot. Butter me and call me a biscuit. That just sounds darn great. I guess I'm gonna try out these shoes for some snow boots. We're gonna make our way off there. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Let me know if I can help you out with anything else. And she takes like a scrap of her paper, and writes her phone number on it and gives it to you.
No, yeah, he will Take that and kind of probably put it in like his little pocket or his like on his front shirt. It was very nice meeting you. I will probably see you around then.
All right, yes, wonderful meeting you too. What was your name again?
Nick Lovin.
Oh, of course. Okay. Well, yeah, have a wonderful time, and if I can help you out with anything else, let me know.
Sounds good. I think immediately Nick kind of like tries to be as calm as posed as she like walks outside. I think kind of like immediately backtracks back to where like Colleen and Krampus and everybody else is, and is like, "Look at this piece of paper I got!" Like I think he's over the over the moon.
Aw.
It's great. Yeah. So Clancy, so Herman and Krampus, you wanted to go talk to the older man?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, you see this this man kind of milling about between crowds of people, and he's asking, "Oh, change. Do you have any extra change, sir? Do you can you help a fellow out?" And he sees you two walking up. Excuse me. Do you guys have any spare change?
I do. And I do the thing where again I reach behind me and I pull out. I'm trying to think of what's the most ridiculous. I don't want to just go with like, actually, you know what? That's what I'll probably do. I'm going to pull out change. I never established how old Herman actually was, so I'm tempted to pull out change that's like a currency that no longer exists.
It's gelt. It's
Yeah.
chocolate gelt.
And like yeah, that is something you would fit. He probably ends up putting like chocolate gelt and a couple of coins that like technically no longer exist anymore. Either or just like some coinage that's not super appropriate. He puts in a couple of liras, Italian liras.
Oh, these are well, that's not exactly what I need. Do you have anything in American?
I'm sorry. I
He got like a Coles buck.
I give him some money.
Oh, thank you so much, sirs. It's awfully cold. I've been just trying to get a little bit more, a little food to tide me over. Thank you, thank you guys.
That is so sad, and it's a very like Christmas is and I'm probably at this point speaking a little bit louder than is necessary because like we've seen people just ignore this guy. So I want to try. This might be a charm, manipulate someone to be like, yes, and everyone should be very generous for the spirit of Christmas to everyone, not just your friends, but to your fellow man.
Krampus has like literally a mouthful of kettle corn container, and then picking up Herman's cues, he stops and he looks at this guy, and he just slowly moves the kettle corn over. Yeah, here you go. This is delicious. You'll love it.
Oh, yes.
Now,
thank you.
was this person being truthful in everything he said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this person was being truthful, and they go, "Oh, thank you so much. This is very kind of you." And I think Herman, through the magic of Christmas cheer, everyone is just a little bit more giving.
Oh,
and so
I can just...
so Herman and Krampus, what I want you to do is go ahead and take a +1 ongoing to a stat of your choice.
Oh.
Nice.
Do you want us to just adjust the stat for the purpose of the games?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think because it might become important soon, I think actually I'm going to take it to cool. For once, I'm not going to just be a dirty min-maxer.
I took my +1 in charm because I think Herman's teaching him to be a little bit more personable.
Oh,
there you go.
Nice.
It's that Christmas spirit.
Yes, wonderful.
That said, I would like to look around and scan the crowd while we're while we're talking to this guy. Is there any sign of this guy? So I guess in this case, I not necessarily looking to investigate a mystery, but maybe read a bad situation, because we still don't know where this person is, and he has dangerous magical artifacts.
Yes.
And all the kettle corn in the world can't make that change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead and roll read a bad situation.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 9, so you get to hold 1 here.
Okay. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yeah, I think what you hadn't noticed here is you see over by the mess tent some little snowmen gathering around one of the poles, and nobody's paying it any mind because it's snowy. Kids build snowmen everywhere, but you notice very specifically that they ambulate, and they all at once, like these 4 little snowmen, grab the tent pole for one of these mess tents, and they yank at it, and they start to pull this tent down.
Having that could be described as a naughty action. I think that would draw the Krampus's attention very quickly.
Yes.
The articulated snow monstrosities over there. My German accent is going to go all over the place. Just fair warning.
So good.
No problem. I love it.
The fully articulated snow people over there are going to tear down the tent. And then he rushes off in that direction, leaving a trail of snacks behind him. And by snacks, I mean like strips of leather, pieces of wood, kettle corn, candy canes.
Herman will quickly follow, picking up behind him. And when he gets to one candy cane, he's like, "Oh, I like this flavor."
I love this. It's candy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm following behind, but I think Krampus, you get there first.
Yeah, I think my main priority at this point would be to keep the tent up. So I'm just going to try to grab the pole and stop them from tipping it over.
Yeah, act under pressure.
All right. All right, I'm very mixed successy today.
All right. So you are going to keep the tent up, but I think what's going to happen is you are going to take 1 harm as these sminions grab on to the side of you and kind of chill you to the bone a little bit.
Okay.
Because they're trying to get you to like kind of go away, and so they're trying to like push you off of this so they can pull this down.
Well, I'm gonna do like a little, like kind of a little goat leg dance to try to shake them off. But point of fact, as an immortal, I do not age or sicken, and whenever I suffer harm, I suffer 1 harm less. And I'd like to explain this by saying they're attacking a goat man wearing leg warmers, and that's just not going to happen.
Yes, the
Not
armor of
this
leg
Christmas.
warmers. I love it. Yeah,
Not this Christmas.
not this Christmas. Yeah, Nick, or not Nick, Herman. Herman was running up also.
Yeah. I see these small snowmen attacking my friend Nick, and I do not like this. So I think I'm going to try to whack the snowman, it's like the sminions, as we call them, off of him.
Yeah, go ahead and kick some ass.
All right. Ugh. All right. That is also a mixed success. So I think I do damage. So I know I said I picked the thunder hammer. I don't know if we want to say it's small enough that it applies to I can just pull it out of nowhere when I need it. That's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. So probably won't be full thunder because it. Well, I don't know. I'll let you judge whether all of a sudden a giant thunderclap happens in the middle of this fair. But I believe with the 9, I do damage and they do damage to me, and it's 3 damage to these minions.
Yeah, I think you are easily able to kind of come through and take like a polo shot at 2 of these guys and just go right through them as you hit them with this thunderhammer. And the other 2, they let go of Krampus and they let go of the tent and they focus entirely on you. And they just kind of one of them picks the other one up and forms them into a large snowball and then just chucks it at you. And you're going to take 2 harm as
Okay.
this giant snowball hits you in the head.
Yep.
It was very hard ice.
But now there's only one minion left.
Now there's only one minion left.
Yeah. Okay.
Nick and Colleen. Nick, you have just returned from having gotten the number of a very nice lady. What's up?
I guess he would have gone. I guess since Herman and Krampus ran off, I guess he would go to Colleen in slight hopes of like that's the first person he sees, but he kind of hopes like probably with all the time like Idris is still there with like another pretzel. I think he was like, this man's got Annie and pretzels. That's great. So he kind of comes back and he's like, you wouldn't believe it, who I just stumbled into. I forget her first name, but her last name was Rudolph. She knows the banker dude. And I mean, God, what luck. And so he's gonna be over at the ski lift because they're doing some ski thing. I don't know, but we should go there. I have no idea where the other 2 went though.
You mean that? And like, I'm guessing like as we're having this, like the
Right.
thing falls over, the 2 are running over, and I'm like, you mean that? And I'm like,
That whole
thank you,
situation
thank you,
over there.
perfect, great work. Let me just take care of this real quick. And I don't know, there's like hockey sticks and whatnot. She's gonna like pick up something and then she's gonna thwack the last one, like full on like Happy Gilmore style.
Yeah, kick some ass.
All right, oh, I thought I had more tough. This is gonna be bad. Never mind.
Or you could do that.
That's boxcars, so that's an 11.
Yeah, I think on full success there, you do get to pick an additional effect. So you
What are the
can
additional effects?
inflict terrible harm, suffer 1 less harm, force them where you want them, or take 1 forward or give +1 forward to another hunter.
I am going to, because I'm guessing like 1 hit from this thing is enough to explodify it. It's made of snow. I'm gonna suffer less harm.
Yeah, I think because you chose to suffer less harm, you're just not going to take any harm here as you catch this thing kind of off guard, and you kind of tee up this snowman. So the snowman's just like 2 balls. There's a large ball on the bottom and then a head. And you tee up and
Tell
you
me
just
more.
run up to this thing and you take its head clean off.
It's like one of the Pokies from Super Mario, just like
Yeah, we see a zoom in shot coming from the perspective of the hockey stick as the snow creature turns around, and we see the coal eyes widen a little bit as it realizes that death is coming for it, and then
Play
it is
of the
eliminated.
game.
Does it go X-ray as soon as the hockey stick hits, even though there's no like skeleton at all, so you can see the
It's an
snow?
X-ray shot from Mortal Kombat, but
Yeah.
we see just an X-ray of a snowball exploding.
And we see the carrot snap audibly.
That's great. I love that. Yeah, and I think as this happens, Nick, you notice a person in a dark blue hoodie that kind of saw this happen and specifically like focuses for a second on Colleen and then starts to just book it up the hill.
I also book it because
I was gonna say, yeah, they're booking it.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to chase this guy? Roll plus cool.
Shit.
Cool.
I'm doing this is probably gonna be bad. I'm doing this and I'm like taking up my phone, calling Idris at the same time, like, honey, like whatever happens, don't be upset by.
Yeah. I hear you. I think I
hang
found
up
the
before
guy.
that. That's a 10.
Wow.
What the hell is this? I never roll this well. I rolled 5 ones in a row once.
Nicholas.
How does this work?
Ooh.
How did you roll a 0?
I don't know because he's got a +1. I think I might have hit a wrong button, like Loki. I think I messed
Oh
up.
yeah. That errored out.
Here, let me.
Yeah,
I'll
so-
just roll physical dice because that. there's.
Yeah, the roll 20 errored out on that. Either way, you got a 10 plus, so you're able to chase this guy up the hill a ways, and Idris comes alongside you. He's like, "Hey, I found him." Just like a little too late. But Idris is able to like kind of catch up to this guy and tackle him, and get him down to the ground. And you guys catch up to Willie Shakes, and he goes, "Oh my god, okay, hi, hello, nice to meet you all. What can I do for you today, everyone?"
I'm gonna look at this kid that slowly draw my gaze to Krampus and just back up a little bit.
Krampus is walking slowly in like monster style towards this guy, and he's slowly like he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like it looks like a small basket, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'm imagining
goes,
like a full-on like JoJo song right now, like
Yeah, and Willie from the ground goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! I give up. I give up.
That's good. That's
so soon. Okay.
I give up. I'm done. You're a fucking Krampus, and I like my skin where it is."
Oh no, we don't do that anymore.
That is
back
a
in the
lot of
old days.
stereotyping. That is another thing that you've been very naughty about.
Back in the
Also-
old days, you spank people for any reason at all, but these days, it's more of a stern talking tool.
Oh well, sure, fine, yeah. I give up. I'm done. Hi, what's up? My name's Willie. I would like to keep all of my bones where they are. Can we please get this very large and oddly handsome man off of me?
I would say thank you, but you're not really in a position right now. We just have
I mean, he's in a
two
position.
questions.
Hey, yeah. What did I do to you guys in particular?
Well, one of your things
don't
just
have any-
tossed the ball of ice and snow and rocks in my face. That is clearly against snowball fight rules.
Hey, I didn't make Magic Snowman appear. I'm not that kind of guy.
Is that true?
Magic lockpicking, sure, yeah, cool. Magic Snowman, not really my bag.
I'm a man to steal magic item, like dangerous magic things for people. So, what was up with that?
I got paid. There was a guy here in town who wanted me to pick up some item from this local shop, and I may have taken some liberties with what else I collected. Some personal bonuses, if you will. But I got paid.
Look, look.
I'm out here doing a job. I'm assuming also doing a job. Our jobs are now conflicting.
Look, sneaking into a place and leaving things behind is perfectly fine. But what you have done is very naughty. And he puts a hoof on the guy's shoulder because I assume he's on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So this seems like an opportunity for me to be kind of mean to somebody who has done bad
No,
things.
you're absolutely going to have
Yeah.
to roll to resist your drive for cruelty at this point.
Yeah. All right. So how does that work? That is a plus.
That's cool. Plus cool.
Plus cool. All right. We're gonna find out how
While this is
cool I
going
am.
on, as
Okay.
Krampus may or may not. Oh, never mind.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's act under pressure.
Yeah, so you got a 7, so that's a mixed success. So you're gonna lean into it a little, but you can feel yourself giving into it and kind of rein it back in.
Okay. Well, okay. So yeah, I think the way that plays out is he leans into it, he digs his hoof in just a little bit too hard because it goes from pressing to possibly like crushing for a moment.
Ow,
and he's
ow, please.
And then Krampus pulls his hoof back and goes, it's a bit much, yeah, but there's something else that we need to know. Who hired you?
If you'll indulge me for a moment before my associate, and I don't want to say friend because he has the lying move. My associate, this guy, was he kind of like round and had a top hat by any chance?
Yeah, I gave him the hat.
damn
That's
it,
what he
was it-
paid for. This kind of bigger, older guy.
Was it the fucking banker? Are you hired by Wigglesworth? You can be honest.
Dumb name, right?
In fact, if you're not honest, this guy will know and crush your shoulder into dust or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know,
you know
there's been
what?
bad or
Something
good.
about this situation makes me believe you. And yes, the guy who hired me, I think his name was Wigglesworth.
So, okay. I can't guarantee about Krampus here, but just return the stuff that you stole and we'll take care of the fucking hat, because I'm guessing the hat has some nonsense with it, right?
There must have been some magic in that old top
silk
hat you
hat
found.
I just realized this now, in and out of character.
Hey, you know what? And I hold out my hand. Those things you took were very dangerous. So I think I'm going to need them back right now.
Yeah. That's a little bit of a problem. And he kind of reaches back, and he had a backpack on him, and so he reaches into it, and he pulls out. I'm trying to find the list of these items.
N64, Toll the Dead. What's
The
the other
umbrella.
one? I forget.
Umbrella.
The bells, the keys,
Taz. The
the
Taz.
umbrella. Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, so he pulls out jangling set of like bells on like, it almost looks like a kind of a gunslinger's like
Like a bandolier.
Bandolier, yes, it's a bandolier is the name for it. He pulls out a bandolier of bells, and a set of keys and a locket, and he's like, "Yeah, all I have are these. The umbrella I actually already rehomed, if you will. Yeah. This is what I have. Krampus, he is lying.
Oh. So Krampus takes the bandolier of bells, puts it into his basket, and he says, "But you see, that's not all you have. You must show us the rest as well." And then he leans in extra close, like his hoof is still on the guy's shoulder, but somehow he gets his goat face down in his face, and he says, "You will tell us what the rest of the stuff is."
Yes, of course. Yeah. I was I just wanted to play Pokemon Stadium. That's my bad. Yeah, here is the Nintendo 64. You can take it. The umbrella, yes, did the umbrella is somewhere else. I have rehomed it.
Where?
California.
Already?
UPS works fast, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Shout out postal workers, but what?
In the Christmas holiday season, it's probably still at the station. It might be worth checking out. Now, did he really send it to California?
Yeah, he's no longer lying because he does not want his skin to be displaced from where it is currently.
Oh, I'm going to have to call Peppermint Polly. I hate talking to him. I also take so you have the bells. I'm going to take the locket and the keys, and I'm going to, because those are small, I'm going to put them in my secret space.
Yes, wonderful. Cool.
Did you enable tracking on the package?
Yeah. And he pulls out his phone. He's like,
Krampus takes the phone.
That is his.
Yeah, and now it's mine. And Krampus takes it.
We've talked about this.
He's not going to argue with you. Once again, skin staying where it is. He wants that.
So
very stereotypical.
Krampus is gonna go through his phone. He's scratching the screen with his claws as he swipes.
It's just in the Gmail folder.
Nick, could you help Krampus here? I don't actually know how to work a smartphone.
He clicks it, and his nail just goes right through the icon.
You should have got a screen protector or something, man. I don't know about that.
You know what? It's okay. I actually had a very comprehensive insurance program. You have no idea how often this happens.
Is he lying?
Surprisingly enough, he's telling the truth.
No, he's not.
And with that, like, Krampus can't figure the phone out, pulls his finger out, hands it over to Nick.
Yeah, Nickel. Yeah, I just put up the tracking info.
Watch your fingers; it's very sharp.
It's just straight bits of glass from where Krampus has been touching it. I mean, it looks like it's on its way to California. I mean, it's probably somewhere in the middle, but I don't know if we're getting that umbrella back.
I'm more focused on the hat that we know someone is actually using and is currently wearing it. And I don't know what else. I actually don't remember. Nick, you said something about the banker, right?
Right. Is the hill that we tackled this guy on the same hill that's used for the skiing competition? Like, do we see that up ahead?
Yeah, it is heading up to the main stage area, where a lot of the announcements are. And you actually hear an announcement come over the intercom spread throughout this event that says, attention all competitors. The ice sculpture competition judging will begin in 30 minutes.
We never did our sculpture.
Then we will have to hurry up and solve this mystery.
We could join Idris's team and then just tell them to stand there.
It took all 4 of us to do this. Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, Krampus. I mean, unless there's anything you want to do, though, I guess we should. I guess in the Christmas spirit, we could let him go. Our main man's up the hill. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Actually, I personally would really love that. And I promise not to do any more misgivings until after Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, that gets him through the end of the fiscal year. Next year is a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's like the month after Spotify Wrapped comes out. It's just like
and there is a question.
Yeah, nothing matters anymore.
Right.
But
the lawless wasteland.
Willie, if I have to find you next year on my naughty list, I will come for you, and you'll need to be playing only Dr. Mario on your N64. You know what I mean?
I think I understand. That's a lie.
Because you would have to go see the doctor, because it's he would treat your injuries.
Oh,
The ones that I would give you.
I don't know if you understand what Dr. It's like a Tetris thing. You know what? We can talk about it later.
I mostly just take the toys away. I look at the box. It's not a big deal. I assume it's a doctor who does medicine.
What's interesting?
Idris also confused by like, that's not what Dr. Mario does. You know what? We can talk. Just both of them at the same time are like, that's not really okay.
All right.
Can we see the ski lift area? Like, do we actually see if Wigglesworth is there, or do we have to like?
Yeah. So, Willie's like, okay, yeah, right, no more bad deeds till after Christmas. Cool, got it. See you later. I'm gonna.
I believe you owe somebody an apology before you see you later. But you can take care of that yourself. Go talk to the shop owner, Ethan. He's very upset.
You know what? That's a very good idea. And I'm going to go do that. And that's the truth.
You'll make your restitutions
Spirit of Christmas
and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And he holds his shoulder because it hurts still because you practically crushed it. And he like looks at his phone to try and like get an Uber and then realizes that it's broken and he's like, oh well. And puts it in his pocket and just starts like trudging down the hill back towards the antique shop.
All right.
So Harmon, you're going to call Peppermint Polly for an intercept?
Yeah, I will do that. I haven't mentioned this. Our guys, and I point to Krampus, and I'm saying this to everyone, they wanted us to make sure that this stuff gets back to them. They said it's dangerous, and they wanted it back to home base so they can apparently give it a once over.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
It's certainly safer than keeping it in some guy's locked room.
Yeah.
Sure.
North Pole security is no joke.
Also, we never asked how he'd learned magic stuff, but I think that's not so important right now, as in, should take care of the banker, because I don't trust that.
Well, I think we need to split up. Because the ice sculpture competition is going to be judged very shortly, and we have not even started yet.
Do that. Yes, we have to.
We do have to do that in the name of the Christmas spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Idris has already done a beautiful rendition of Pac-Man. If you don't mind if we join your team at the last moment.
No, we must do it ourselves. We signed up separately.
As
You
soon as
heard
you
the goat. You heard the goat, man. Never mind.
yeah. As soon as you suggest we don't actually make a sculpture, Herman's face visibly like plummets. Like he was very excited to make a
So
sculpture.
we have to. We have
Krampus
to do
is
it.
just
Yeah.
like Colleen with a C.
Yes. So you guys make your way up to the area. I think along the way, Nick, a newspaper kind of just flies by in the snow and hits you in the face.
Oops.
Classic.
Yeah. As you kind of pull it away, you see an article from probably about 2 years ago, about the death of Ephraim Rudolph, and how his inheritance was going to Alicia. And you would know from just like living in town, like, oh, that's when the Rudolph family started to be like way more proactive in the community, and with like helping out, than how it was previously.
Did you say they've been guiding the way?
Take +1 forward.
Hey,
Do your next roll because I love it. But yeah, you make your way up to the main stage here, and you see that they are kind of in between competitions, and you see Cindy Lewis, who is helping out, and she is talking to the banker, but the banker is kind of visibly upset at this point. He's wearing this like large, kind of tattered top hat, and you can kind of overhear him going like, "Oh, what even is the purpose of all of this? How is this helping us at all?" And Cindy Lou is just kind of going, sir, we agreed to do all this for the community. It's not really. And he goes, "Damn the community! How is this putting money back in our pockets? Can you tell me that?" "No, of course not." Ugh. And the banker kind of just storms off.
I feel like we weren't supposed to overhear that.
I'll go up to. Unless you want, Nick. Do you want to go up to Cindy?
No, I think probably in this time I was going like, oh look, that nice lady was in the paper and like sharing that information, and so.
Okay.
But I think he's kind of like in that sense of like, do we talk to Cindy? Do we go after the banker guy? Like he's ready to kind of like go after either one.
If we could get an in-character 5 minutes until the ice sculpture judging, because I think with a little bit of Christmas magic, we'll be able to pull it off really quickly.
Oh, of course.
But we do. But there is zero chance that these two Christmas spirited individuals are going to let this competition go uncompeted in.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm thinking an act under pressure by one of us. I kind of want to do the act under pressure. Maybe Krampus, you can do a helping.
I'll do a help out.
Here's the deal. For the ice sculpture, we're gonna do a custom move as a group.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you're going to roll 2d6 and the stat you can justify of how you create this sculpture. Are you using magic? Are you punching it? Are you being highly analytical? So what we're going to do is all 4 of you are going to roll the stat that you justify narratively of how you are going to do this. We are going to take like the average of that and see how it all works out, and describe to me what your sculpture is collectively.
Okay.
Did not mean to roll what I just rolled, but because they don't have any stats.
Yeah. Because you had things.
All right. Well, let's resolve this, and when we get our 5-minute sculpture warning, then we'll.
Yeah, you'll work on that. So Cindy Lou is visibly upset from this interaction with her boss. and kind of is walking off over to the side.
All right.
So, do we want to resolve the statue first? Because probably Herman would definitely want to talk to Cindy to try to.
I'd like to resolve the mystery side of the stuff before the competition because, like I said, I think we're gonna walk over to a solid block of ice with 5 minutes left to go, and we're gonna make magic happen.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over to Cindy, and I'm gonna be like, Miss Lewis, is everything Mrs.
Oh, it's just Miss. It's just Miss.
Are you all right? I think we overheard something with you and Mr. Wigglesworth, and you seem upset. I don't know if this helps, but I do now. I have soothe. I have soothe. So when I talk to someone for a few seconds in a quiet voice, you can calm them down, blocking any panic, anger, or other negative emotions they have. This works even if the thing that freaked them out is still present, as long as your voice can be heard.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I think Cindy kind of just goes, "Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're so sweet, Herman, for checking on me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Mr. Wigglesworth is never really like that. He's been acting very strange today. I don't know what that was all about. He's never really snapped at me like that before.
What? Yeah. Why? I don't even know. Why is he usually that obsessed about money and income coming in? Is this really new?
I mean, he's always trying to kind of figure out how to stay competitive with running his businesses and things like that, but he's never been like this. He's never been so upset over it.
Given how mean-spirited Mr. Wigglesworth was, I would like to act under pressure to not view that as an actionable naughty offense.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So in this case, with a mixed success, I can still see him. If we have a stalking up to Mr. Wigglesworth and just trying to snatch the top hat off of his head.
Yeah. Okay, I think what happens here is you go up to this man, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, what the hell are you doing here?" And you go to snatch this hat, and as you grab at it, the wind picks up and the hat starts to fly away in the breeze, and immediately Mr. Wigglesworth goes from indignation to pure fear, and kind of stumbles backwards and goes, oh my god, what is going on? What are you?
Don't worry. I'm here to. Krampus, I'll let you say stuff before I butt in.
Oh, no. I have something to say. I think Krampus starts to say something and Herman cuts him off because he has a better answer.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly has a better answer.
We're just kind of concerned because it seems like this is a time of merriment and cheer, and you seem quite upset. Is something happening?
I don't know. I got a package this morning, and it was quite a nice top hat, and I put it on, and I don't really remember anything else.
Did
And
you order
he's
this?
telling the truth.
So you didn't order this top hat. You just got it this morning.
Oh, well, I did order this top hat. I had heard a very silly rumor that maybe this could help me with some of my larger goals, if that makes
From
sense.
whom did you order this top hat?
A private collector.
You mean Willie Shakes?
With the shakes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know who Willie Shakes is. Okay.
I would like to list off some of the naughty things that Willie has done.
Herman is backing you up. He has in 5th grade, Willie Shakes pulled his sister's hair. In high school, Willie Shakes consistently took the car out and did not fill the tank up on the way back when he brought it back.
I like the comparison between like Herman, like oh in 5th grade, like pulled hair, and then Krampus, what I'm guessing is like police codes. Like actual crimes that he's committed.
So it's a 742. Yeah. Pulling sister's hair. I heard when he pulled it, he left the bubble gum in. Very
Is the
bad.
hat still flying in the air by any chance?
It is.
Shit. Is it logical enough, I'm guessing Colleen and Idris are also there. Is it logical enough to assume that this hat is the one doing all of this personality nonsense and should probably be held down in some capacity?
Yes.
Either I would like to grab it or try to like magic it down or something. I don't know, but I want this hat on the ground, not moving.
Yeah, how do you want to go about doing this?
Do I want to borrow my husband's magic power, or do I want to just do it myself?
How independent are you feeling in this moment?
I like that there are 2 bank accounts in this relationship: a shared account and then Colleen's personal account.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just kind of like nudge Idris a little bit and be like, if anything bad happens, I'm sorry again, and I'm gonna try to like magic the hat down. I think there's got to be something. There's got to be a move under use magic for that.
For sure.
I think there's a general one that is just like do
something beyond human limitations. We'll cover it if nothing else.
You could also argue potentially trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
Yeah, we could also trap it. That's cool. And because of Supernatural Guide, I'm rolling with Charm. Now forward.
Damn.
Jesus. Okay, that's
a 13.
Okay.
I'm really good at this being a wife thing.
Yeah, so what is your effect?
Well, trap a specific. I'm guessing this thing's I'm just assuming this thing is like a consciousness because it's an evil hat. I just got the pun.
The publisher of the game, yes.
I'm guessing it's a minion or monster, and I would like to trap it.
Yeah. How do you do this?
What
does this magic look like when you manifest it to bring this thing up out of the air? Because right now it is like a good like 2 stories up, flying in the breeze.
Shit. Probably just like kind of look over to Idris, and Idris like sees, and in a brief moment of clarity, like kind of like nods in agreement. And just like again like tug on my wedding ring and form a very mini spectral hound that quickly dissipates, and then like enough of a breeze or something it gets summoned, sends it to the ground, and then because I'm guessing only a few specific people could probably see it if they're used to magic stuff. This hound grows in size enough to like kind of like keep it down. So the hat is still like formed, but it's now underneath a ghost wolf dog. Something.
A very familiar idea.
If I fits, I sit. But for magic,
Yes, visual effects dogs. My specific wheelhouse.
I did not intend for that.
It's great. No, I love it. Yeah, so this dog kind of like manifests and parkours off of the nearest building and just takes a flying leap and snatches this hat out of the air and pins it down. And so you have it. You have the hat.
I do. Okay. No one touch it. It's probably some magic bullshit. No one touch this.
Do you want me to put it in my
Language?
space? Yeah, also language. That's very important. Thank you, Krampus. Do you want me to put it in my special space?
I
Language?
I didn't say anything. When
is special a swear?
It's. I turned to Nick. Is special a swear now? I know it's 2022. Okay, thank you.
I don't want any of whatever this kind of thing is until we really like. I don't know. We get like a cold iron box. That's Welsh, right? Honey, that's Welsh. And I looked at Idris.
Yep.
Idris.
Cold iron, not great for me. Probably not great for this.
Do we want action? I have an interrupt. I could. I'm thinking maybe an act under pressure to see if among my things that I own is a cold iron box that I can pull out of my the space that I keep stuff in.
I like that better.
straight from the town that Idris grew up right outside of that I desperately want to pronounce because it's the longest town name in the world. If this goes through, I will pronounce it. Get excited, chat.
Well, the thing is that there is a move that exists that does exactly what you're describing. It's called preparedness. So yeah, roll plus sharp. On a 10 plus, you have it right here, right now. On a 7 to 9, you have it, but it's not here, and it will take some time for you to get it. On a miss, you know where it is, but it's somewhere not great.
Oh boy, this is going to be great. That looks like it's a miss.
Ooh, yeah, that is a miss. So you know, yeah, I have a cold iron box. It's in storage, but the storage is in the depths of the North Pole.
Town name?
It's in Storage, Alaska.
Oh, that's not... I'm gonna try to remember. Get excited, Chad. I'm trying to remember. Is it Hunter Pohuingo go get the job? Hunty City go go go.
Nice.
That is impressive.
I love that.
Yeah, it's there. I can also just try to
or
put
Alaska.
Yeah. Like I said, I could also just try to put it in my space. I just don't know if it could. I don't know what it could do in my space. Like,
I feel like this thing has a consciousness. That might
but can we inspect it and look and hold on? Perhaps we should look and see if there's a tag inside. Anybody looked for the tag? Find out who made it, where it come from.
I assume we can take like a stick and flip it over and see like what the tag is, or like we can have the hound maneuver it so we can see the tag.
Yeah, you see a tag that says Ephraim Rudolph on it. If lost, return to Ephraim Rudolph.
Gasp.
Can I do something that's really it's kind of stupid? Because I'm guessing this is a ghost hat. I have a move called Monster Empathy. When I try to work out what a supernatural creature desires, roll plus sharp. And I'm guessing that this is a ghost hat. I want to know what the ghost hat wants.
Yeah, what does the ghost hat want? Roll it.
This is so... Oh, God.
Amazing.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. That's
Amazing.
another.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Amelia making rolls like a boss. Too bad we don't have the advanced moves.
Okay. So on a 13 plus, you get to hold 2. So
Um,
I will
What-
answer these questions honestly. What does the ghost hat most desire? What would they accept as good enough for now? And what would distract them?
I'm gonna take what they most desire and what's good enough for now. And I'm guessing like as this probably happens simultaneously as Spectral Hound grabbing it, that whatever magic is in it is kind of like dark whispers like in the back of your head, like kind of like eldritch, unknowable words that apparently only Colleen can hear.
Yeah. So what you get a sense of from this hat is that what this hat really wants is for the Rudolph family fortune to be reined back in, rather than pursuing these like humanitarian efforts. And what is good enough for now is if they can't get their holdings back under their control and pulled back, kind of like keeping back into the gates, if you will. What's good enough is breaking all the things that their money was spent to benefit.
Huh. Well, and like this is all happening at once. Like I think we're dealing with a ghost hat, everyone.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's Ephraim that's currently inside it. Lovely name. Ephraim, if you can hear me from beyond the Mercury. What do you even make hats with? Okay, I just saw someone type in chat.
I'm sorry, do you think that hats are made with mercury, a liquid metal?
Well, that's how you get mad as a hatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was used.
Yeah.
It was used in the felting process.
Yeah. Shout
What do
out
you
to
know?
A. Willem Scream Capitalism. That's really funny.
Little do we know that the hat isn't actually haunted, it's just toxic as hell.
What if the hat is just a
Why
portal to
not
hell?
both? The theme of this mystery.
So, Mr. Ephraim, really upset at the Rudolph family fortune, wants it reined in a bit. And if we can't like rein it in, then just, destroying the things that benefit it would also be nice. So,
This is not an option.
well, it's not it's the ghost. It's the ghost hat. What am I supposed to do?
I did have a thought.
Hmm.
We still have an ice sculpture we need to make. What if we make, because Colleen, you're able to do magical stuff. Nick, you can probably I'm trying to think of how to get everything in. We could make a containment device for this hat, and we can make it shaped like a present and put the hat in the sculpture cage.
That's a terrible present. You can see right towards the side.
I was gonna say it might melt in maybe like 24 hours as well, give take.
Yeah.
But I love the enthusiasm.
I love this. I think that this is a great idea. I love this plan, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
What
It's
could go
totally
wrong?
not going to possess the ice and form a giant ice monster. This is going to work great, guys.
Yeah. In the meantime, I believe Mr. Wigglesworth is cowering in terror.
Cowering in terror. Actively crying in fear at this point.
Yeah, I'll step in.
And praying that you do not kill him.
Coco, stat.
Oh yeah, I'm going to also give Mr. Wigglesworth some cocoa and work my soothing voice to help calm him. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll help calm Mr. Wigglesworth, and you guys can decide what we want to do with this hat, because I assume I might be fully focused on keeping Mr. Wigglesworth calm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's
thank
got to
you.
be there's got to be something in the back of your mind that says ice sculpture, ice sculpture, ice sculpture, ice sculpture.
Yeah.
Sweet angel child. Thank you for this wonderful mug of cocoa.
This one
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
has the Monopoly guy, but he's in it's Christmas themed, so it's
Yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
Um, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you got any schnapps? Just to top it off with?
Just to wet the whistle.
Herman takes one look back to Krampus, looks back to Wigglesworth, does a little, and like one of those tiny airport bottles of schnapps he pulls out.
Absolutely. Dude just pops the top off that, empties it in the cup, takes a big swig.
That's a lot.
I'm a big man.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
I am not.
I never want to hear a banker say the words "I'm a big boy" ever again. You've given me a new nightmare.
All right. But
Mr. Wigglesworth, now that you've calmed down, I believe you need to go give Mr. Ethan not Winter, an apology.
Yeah.
As the man that you hired, Billy Shakes, yeah, he broke into his store and stole a bunch of stuff, including that top hat.
Right. Yes.
Are you aware that you are financing a crime?
It's very naughty. It's not very nice at all.
Now he plays a good cop. Now he plays a good cop, bad cop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I was aware I was financing a crime. Yes, I will go apologize and pay Mr. Winters, Mr. Not Winters, Mr. Autumns. There we go. Finally
Mr.
found
Autumns.
it. There's his name. Mr. Autumns, his due, and go repair his window. You are correct. I will do that as soon as I am done announcing the winners of our ice sculpture competition, which is going to be taking place in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Are you entered?
Yes,
Krampus is already gone.
Yeah. Yes, we are
Sprinting
entered.
down this hill.
There's just a swirl of snow dust where Krampus used to live.
Herman probably runs after as he passes by Colleen, and Nick is like, just hold on to the hat for a little bit. We need to get the sculpture.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so you guys come up to this massive block of ice. What do you guys want to make? You can make individual sculptures,
prison,
or a one collective sculpture. Whatever you guys want to do with this.
I think my vote is we do all 12 days of Christmas in ice.
In 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes.
Hey, man.
I like this.
The partridge in the pear tree is the hat.
The Christmas magic.
Sure. Magic of Christmas.
Oh, it also works
Colleen.
because it's the 12 days of Haz-mas, and we're doing
Yeah.
Haz-mas.
Oh my God. That's it. We do the 12 days of Christmas, but each day, instead of the normal gifts, it's a different kind of hat. And the first day is the top hat. That's just, it's there. It's not touching eye. It's there.
I don't.
And a pork pie in a pear tree.
I don't even want to tell you how we got the yellow ice for the 5 gold rings. It's a pee joke, so that gives you an idea of what my podcast is like.
Yeah, no, it works on multiple layers for sure. I like to imagine that Idris was helping out with it, and the 5 golden rings are the rings from Sonic. There you go.
All right, so I'm ready to use some Christmas magic here.
Okay, everyone roll 2d6 plus the stat that you justify. And I want to know, how are you doing this? What are you doing to make this? So like if you're using magic to help form the ice, you would be rolling plus weird. If you are being super analytical about it, you'd be rolling plus sharp.
Like, I'm definitely using magic, and I'm taking my +1 forward that I earned before. And that +1 is going to be symbolized by tossing a chainsaw to Nick.
Hell yeah.
I don't have.
What was that chainsaw noise
any-
again?
That's my chainsaw.
I don't really have any justification for what Colleen is going to be doing other than she's doing it on a time crunch and therefore is kind of acting under pressure.
There you
So
go.
I would just use cool.
There you go.
I mean, it's either cool or sharp. They have both.
How
+1.
about Colleen's arranging all of these things as they are flying towards her? Because we are about to carve. I don't know. It's some sort of exponential number of sculptures. Like it's a factorial. It's 12 factorial number of ice sculptures.
Yeah. Herman, what are
Anyways,
you
I rolled a 9.
doing?
I was going to be, if you allow me to move the +1 forward, I earn.
Absolutely.
I was going into. I mean, Nick. This might cut into Nick a little bit, but Nick could be like using the chainsaw to cut the big chunks, and I'd be using the hammer and my strength to more shape it there. So
Yeah,
I think that would
absolutely.
be tough.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
And Nick, what are you doing?
I was hoping maybe like once they're done, kind of that like countdown time, like in those last maybe like a minute or something, Nick could maybe use his cool to kind of like
more minute
to kind of like schmooze the judges, not like in terms of like bribing, but just like that southern charm, like, oh my god, like you didn't even know time was passing, I'm just so like interesting and cute, and like, oh my gosh, like time's up, wow, like
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
looking at these
Alessia
people
is
that
one
idling-
of the judges, and she is talking to you, and she is into it.
yeah, he's got the
yeah.
chainsaw, he looks good, he's got like he looks good.
It's just idling chainsaw. So hot.
So, how are you? How is your?
No. That's how you know you got a good man, if he knows how to handle a chainsaw.
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, I see 2 rolls. I need 2 more. I need.
I rolled physical
a
dice,
9.
if that's okay.
Yeah,
So I
that's
can
okay.
roll. Let's see. I rolled plus. What's this cool again? I think it's +2.
I think you were charming.
Yeah, it kind of sounds a little bit more like charm to me, but
Yeah, it was definitely charm.
Charm? Is that a?
Yeah.
Let me go check
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing.
it's your highest thing, Nick.
Yeah, charm. Sorry, I'm saying cool, but like looking at
Yeah.
charm. Let's
It's
see.
cool to be charming.
Yeah.
Being
Okay,
very
so rolls
cool.
11, 12. That would be in total a 13 because I rolled an 11.
Okay. And then, Colleen, what did you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 9.
9. Okay. And that adds up exactly to 40, which means when we get the average, that is a perfect 10.
Yeah, buddy.
So, you all come together, and it's like when you see someone building something in Animal Crossing. It is just a flurry of building and dust and the sound of a chainsaw and hammering. And it all comes together for you perfectly. Flawless. It turns out even better than you thought that it could have. And so what about this sculpture turns out so perfectly that you are brought to tears by the beauty of this?
Wow. Answer or like a separate answer for each of us?
It's up Up to y'all.
I think what really brings the Krampus the most joy in this is not just all the Christmas imagery, but the fact that they were able to include so many other religious icons in their holiday display, turning the 12 Days of Christmas into a truly multicultural display.
There we go.
Which I think is the nicest thing to do on Christmas, is to respect everybody.
Love it. Yeah, we have some menorahs going on, some Kwanzaa imagery.
All right, and I think the level of detail is immaculate, is impressive, and this is sure to win. Let's do that. Oh, just in time. Whew, very close.
And did we agree that we were making this a hat prison, or is that off the table? Because Colleen does not want to hold on to this thing. Does not want anywhere near it. Like, this is bad news.
I don't think we agreed to make it a hat prison. I think
No,
yeah.
These wise guys gonna put it on the thing and then it comes to life. I don't know.
So I think what happens here, as you are going and completing your sculpture, beautiful as it is, you go to place the hat on it to kind of keep it safe, and at that moment, a sinister wind picks up and blows the hat out of your hand, and up into the sky, onto the top of the 40-foot snowman that has been here in the middle of the square.
Oh no!
Oh no! As
We are beginning to announce the judges. Second place in the ice sculpture competition was Tass and Megan for their rendition of a mimic and a doppelganger. We don't know exactly what that is, but sure, good job. First place goes to, and as that happens, the wind picks up and blows this hat up on top of it, and we see this giant snowman begin to ambulate and take a swipe at the stage. What do you do? What's up? Big
That's
snowman.
That is a Chekhov snowman if I've ever seen one.
There you go.
Such a tiny hat on such a large head. It looks ridiculous.
Herman is. I assume people are panicking a lot. Right?
Yeah, people are suddenly went from being super pleased to being very upset by this sudden change of events. But also, before I forget, everyone mark 1 experience and take +1 forward for participating and doing so good in the ice sculpture competition.
I haven't failed it yet, so that was my first one.
And +1 forward is just the next roll, right?
Your next roll, yes.
Okay. I think what Herman would like to do, because he's seen like all this danger and stuff, like he'll eventually like rope around in order to like try to help fight off the snowman in some way, shape, or form. But he is going to try to in a combination with his soothing, get everyone like calm down so that people can start, instead of just panicking and stuff, actually like getting out of the fairground before the snowman really starts hurting people.
Yeah. Let me check the basic moves real quick because I'm trying to determine which one I want to call for. Yeah, I think I want you to act under pressure here.
Okay, cool. Now we'll take. Yep, it's cool, and I will take that +1 forward now. I don't.
And 11, wonderful. Yeah, you are able to kind of guide the people and say, "Okay, everyone, we need to get down the hill, get away from here, try and go indoors." And everyone, with your soothing nature, that you've put forward, and the Christmas cheer that you've put out into the world. They are highly responsive to you, and they are able to organize and kind of settle things down and start making their way towards shelter as this snowman has begun starting to tear down like banners and construction work around the festival.
Well,
He kicks Idris's Pac-Man sculpture.
Oh.
And Idris goes, "No, I worked kind of hard on that."
hold on. That was a very naughty thing.
That is
That was a very
incredibly
naughty thing. Now, here's the question. Do you want to resist this compulsion?
It's not that I want to resist it. I just want to kind of get a bead on how calm the Krampus is.
Yeah.
And I guess I have to use my +1 forward here. Krampus is not cool. He is not chill.
Cool with that at all. Go ahead and mark your experience.
Very, very hard on this. And he reaches he reaches into his pocket and he just starts pulling, like, you know, like when like a sleight of hand magician pulls out like
the multiple
like the endless handkerchief. It's like that, but like a heavy metal chain.
Wonderful. Yes.
And I have huge sword marked as my optional handy weapon. This is a huge sword, effectively.
Wonderful.
And
yeah.
So he starts swinging the chain and yelling in unintelligible German, you know, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And
yes,
he tries to wrap it around the leg and just pull, like he's trying to chop that leg off.
So are you intending to do damage, or are you intending to like hinder this thing's movement?
I think because he's not thinking clearly, he is trying to hurt it most of all. Like his goal is to knock it over, but he is concentrating on injuring.
Great, kick some ass.
I would love to. Not my strong suit, surprisingly. That's solid.
Yeah, on a 9. So you are going to exchange harm. How much harm does your weapon do?
3 harm.
3 harm. Wonderful. Yeah, so he is going to take 3 harm. And then, yeah, I think what happens is you throw this chain out, and kind of Castlevania style, it flies through the like knee of this snowman. Because I'm imagining this as a large Frosty the Snowman like creature that has 2 like separate legs and separate snow arms.
Yeah.
And so as the knee kind of comes out from under it, it balances itself by throwing its hand down right where you are, Krampus, and it is going to try and hit you for 3 harm.
All right. Krampus is going to take that hit, and I assume it, like, after it lifts its hand back up, there's just Krampus in like a Krampus-shaped hole in the snow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I will take 2 harm.
Yeah, wonderful.
Because I wore my leg warmers.
Yeah, because you're special leg warmers.
Yeah.
Nick, what would you like to do?
I was wondering if Nick could use kind of his move, the power of the heart, and to like help Krampus fight the snowman, because it says whenever fighting a monster, if you can help someone, don't roll plus cool, you can automatically help as though you rolled a 10. So I kind of just want Nick to like almost like no thoughts. We are running with this chainsaw. It's definitely, he's ending up on the naughtiness because like it's basically the advanced don't run with scissors. And he's just running at this thing at the other leg probably to kind of like knock it down.
Oh yeah, wonderful. I mean, like then all we can do, because Krampus, you had a 9, and so since that help out automatically bumps you up to a 10, you would take no damage. from that. So just go ahead and get rid of
okay.
that. We'll just say that
I
you
take -1 damage. Got it.
yeah, you didn't take harm from that, but he did like land on
Flat.
you, but you were fine.
I'm fine. I'm fine. If anyone
good.
was wondering, I'm fine.
Yes, Colleen.
I have something kind of stretches the use of use magic, even insofar as what it does.
Have you listened
And
to
like
my
what
show?
we
Because oh boy, hit
so
me.
as we established, like Idris kind of has a steal. It's slowly weakening, but that's not really something to worry about now.
Mm-hmm.
Can I justify, in quote, summon a monster into the world by basically let him Hulk out by taking whatever like seal power it is and kind of like hold like almost like Atlas, like holding it myself instead of just him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, like it's kind of like a fight move, but also use magic.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
No,
good.
I would say that
This is
lands
going to strain
solidly
our
in.
relationship a little bit.
You are turning Idris into your Pokemon, which
Yeah, with his permission,
with his
obviously.
hey, as long as it's consensual, whatever you do in your relationship is fine. Roll use magic.
Yeah. And again, I'm using charm for this because, haha. And I get the +1 forward from before, as you said. Not use magic with cool, although that would be a cool playbook. 1. That's a 9.
Wonderful. Yeah, so I think on that, Idris is going to wolf out a bit and say,
Or
"Oh,
hound out, I suppose.
hound out."
I don't know.
Who let the
It's a
hounds out?
slight
It was you.
difference.
We need
And
you
for
to
my
miss.
glitch, because I got a 9, this is something that sounds like it draws immediate unwelcome attention, as, you know, this relatively buff, really, like, basically built like a basketball player type guy, turns into a fucking hellhound, like, fur white as snow, like, blood red teeth, about to kill someone, so...
Yeah, I think what happens is as they were running away, Alicia and Cindy Lou see this happen and they go, "Oh my. Oh no." And so you have exposed these people to the supernatural world if they were not already picking up on that. But
Well,
yes.
honey, I think we were looking at getting a different cottage anyways, and...
Yeah, and then Idris is like, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. And runs up and tries to like take a bite out of this thing. Let's move back over to Herman. So Herman, you were able to successfully guide the populace away from here, away from danger. What do you want to do now? This snowman is towering above you guys. The hat is on its head, and it is taking swipes at your friends.
Muted.
Oh, you're muted, bud.
I was typing, so I was trying to remember. Yeah, I was saying I do not like any of that sentence right now.
Too bad.
So the from the previous attacks, just to get the potential nightmare scenario out of the way, does it look like the snowman actually got damage, or is it doing something where it's like absorbing snow to repatch itself, or some other wibbly wobbly stuff?
Read a bad situation.
Okay.
An excellent question. Read a bad situation. Learn about what's happening here in this moment.
I have no idea.
That is a 4.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna take a hard move on Mr. Ives here.
Okay.
On that failure. I think what happens I think what happens is the snowman will uh he'll kind of push his energy back out into the snow surrounding and form a handful of sminions that grab Herman from behind and like kind of take him at the legs. And so you are going to take one harm, and you have been like knocked to the ground by these sminions.
I think that's going to be. I assume that's pretty much it for me this go around.
I mean, very much. This is a jump in when you have an idea game. So
I have a really uninformed, just terrible. Like, I cannot stress enough how bad this idea is.
great.
How
I love
far
it.
away is my car?
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Grabbing speed is always an option.
So we kind of left it at the bottom of the hill. So I'd
Right.
say
I
it
forgot
would
it's
take probably 5 minutes to get there, walking speed. Running
speed.
running we'll say about 2-3 minutes. At least 2 other people will have to do something before you can return to the scene, as it were.
It seems stupid enough. I'll do it. I will run down this hill.
Hey.
The opposite.
Running down the hill, make a deal with God.
Point of
Finding
order.
a snowman.
I have to
Krampus-
specify that the Lancia Delta Integrale is used as a rally car, so it's gonna go fast up whatever.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah,
really
okay,
I would like to point out Krampus pokes his head up out of the snow and he sees Colleen running down the hill and he's like, "Yes, run for safety. You should take one of the children's sleds. It's downhill."
Is there like a snowboard or something to do this in style?
Roll plus cool.
You have to roll plus cool for the snowboard.
5. That's more like it.
You
I
fucking
fall
wipe
and
out.
eat shit.
you eat shit. You try and you can't find a snowboard, so you take a kid's sled, but you're like, I'll just use it as a snowboard. I'm fucking awesome. And you try it, and you get like 30 feet and hit a rock and just go flying.
You're
off the
starfishing
snow.
down the
Cringe
hill.
damage. Ignore armor.
Yeah, you slide the rest of the way down the hill, like face first. Just slowly. Let me do a stop.
Oof.
Take one harm.
Ignore armor, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
If you not ignore armor, no, you'll be fine.
Thank you, husband, for a magic wedding ring.
Magic wedding ring. There you go.
I'm sorry. I've been forgetting that I don't know how we are supposed to do this. I technically have divine armor.
Oh yeah, so anytime you get hit with anything, unless I specifically say that like it's armor piercing or whatever, then you would just subtract 1 from your damage that you've been.
So I'm going to subtract 1, and I'll keep the 2 from last time because I completely forgot that there, and I think it's a little too late to backtrack that much.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Nick, what's up? This snowman is wreaking havoc. You just saw Colleen eat shit.
I mean, I guess. Did he make it when he ran at this thing with the chainsaw? Did he make it? I assume he made it through the leg. Like he's not stuck in. There's different things he'll do if he's like stuck in the snowman versus if he made it out of the snowman.
Yeah, he made it through. You're fine.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm trying to think. I mean, we have the chainsaw. We might as well use it. So I guess he'll just kind of make like another swing, kind of like Achilles heel this guy, and see if it'll keep
make a sweeping
him,
pass at the other leg. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Roll kick mass.
Cool. Let's see. Kick some ass is tough, right?
Yes.
Yep.
No. Yes. Okay. I was like, hold on. because I've given up on
On roll 20.
the digital
Understandable.
size. Like, I
Many-
have you, but I'm just like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. 7.
Cool. You do harm, they do harm. How much harm does your chainsaw do?
I think, let's see, let me get it. Probably about 2 harm. I'm putting it like in that mundane kind of thing because he has not had time to go grab something else.
For sure.
About 2 harm.
Yeah, that sounds right. So you sweep the leg. This thing comes unbalanced. It kind of lands towards its back and then gets back up. And so now it's just like a torso and arms situation.
Mm-hmm. I think as he does that, as Colleen's running, he's just like, "Are you coming back? Like, you're coming back, right?"
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I think she's gone.
Yeah, and I think
Very
what will
fast.
happen is the snowman just kind of takes one of its arms and tosses itself towards you, and part of its hand like separates into this massive snowball that hits you in the chest for 2 harm.
That is fair.
Krampus, what's up?
So Krampus, having been shouting advice to people as he stands up, he doesn't even bother dusting himself off. He looks at his now wet sweater in dismay, and I think so this thing's closer to the ground now. It's just torso, so it's probably about 20 feet up to the head.
Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna get a running start and just leap at this thing's face.
Cool.
He is clawing. He is
nice.
clawing for the eyes.
Ooh, okay. So you intend to do harm?
No, I think. Well, I think he's actually going to try to eat the snowman's eyes. What are the eyes made of?
Coal.
He's gonna eat that coal. He loves coal.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Then this would be a kick some ass roll then.
All right. That's when you try to eat your opponent's eyes.
Yeah. I don't know what else you would define that as. Like,
it might be a little bit of magic.
Can I charm
consuming a giant
person?
piece of coal?
Okay, 9. Yeah, you get up here, and I think it just kind of like swipes at you. And so you get like one of its eyes. How much damage do you do with your claws, teeth?
I think I would use claws here. So 2. So the other hand's holding the chain. The one that's not is 2 harm. Ignore armor.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you take out one of its eyes, and it like bats you and swipes you away, knocks you to the ground, and you are going to take 2 harm from that, and kind of just be laid out in the snow for a little bit.
So I take 1 harm from that, and then I look up and I said, "You're snow blinded."
Nice. Very good. Yeah, and you can definitely see the hat on its head now. It is at an elevation where you can see it again.
The hat's on it. So yeah, can I read a bad situation having realized that?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay, so you get 1.
Ooh. At this point, the victims are already gone, except for us. What's most vulnerable to me?
Yeah. I would say, like, obviously the hat. The hat is the vulnerable point.
Okay.
Of this dude. The method of which I'll give you this one for free. Hats don't like fire. Historically speaking. Just in general. not big fans of that. Let's move to Colleen. Colleen, you are face down at the bottom of a hill.
I don't take any armor. Thank you, magic wedding ring again. But I just like spit out like a mouthful of dirty snow. Like,
Yeah, but emotionally, you have taken some harm today. Some pride.
I have
harm.
taken 3 cringe damage. I'm actually unstable cringe.
Unstable Cringe is the name of my new band.
And then I'm going to scoot over to my my yellow Lincia Delta Integrale, and I am going to drive it. I'm going to floor it up this hill and aim for the snowman.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I
ram
think
it.
as you are going along this, you see that there is actually a perfectly placed ice sculpture that was shaped in the shape of a like half pipe ramp, but part of it was broken, and so you can drive right up that. And so I want you to act under pressure to kind of drive well enough over the snow and the ice to get to your destination.
And I don't have any forward from this, I'm guessing.
No, I don't. I don't. I don't
I'm
think so.
real scared. This is going to be the
So-
make it or break it. Okay,
Here's the thing.
wow. Exactly a 7.
Wonderful, Herman. What's up?
Just barely.
No, I was going to add in. So I don't know if this applies just to Krampus or to all of us. There is under read a bad situation. If you act on the answer, you get +1 ongoing while the information is relevant.
That would be the
Does-
person who had done the read a bad situation in the first place.
Gotcha.
But okay, you got a 7, so you do what you wanted to do, which is ram your car into the head of this snowman.
Not necessarily the head, but whatever. But if you're going to say head, I'll take head.
Yeah, for sure. So you are going to get a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. I think you do hit this, but you're not able to bail out, and so you take a little bit of damage and are stuck inside of this snowman with your car for a little bit.
I'll take this.
Yeah.
Just I'm imagining what's that old like French movie of like the moon being like shot in the eye by
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Imagining
Oh,
that
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a snowman
Yep,
and
yep,
it's a
yep.
car.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a famous thing. I just can't remember the name of it.
Mhm.
I don't remember the name of it either, but I did watch it.
I think it might be just from like the Earth to the Moon because I thought it was based on like Jules Verne thing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think
Oh,
you are going to take
okay.
a little bit of harm. You're going to take 2 harm on impact as this car rams into the face of this snowman, and the snowman collapses in on itself and becomes just a big snow drift at this point. But Colleen, you
ignore
are
armor?
stuck inside in your car.
Is that ignore armor harm because it's a fucking car that I just rammed, or
Nah, you're fine. You're cool.
this is a really good wedding ring, everybody.
Hey man, armor's dope in Monster of the Week. And like unless you're specifically going out of the way, like I kind of like ignore armor things would be like magical things or things that are like actually meant to pierce things would be like things that would break armor, but just in general, like you're fighting a thing that smacks things around with snow. Snow is not sharp for the most part.
Have you shoveled snow? It's very heavy.
Yeah, but it
Crush
is
it.
very heavy. So big smacks.
So I think since this car has evaporated the snowman, I assume that hat is floating loose. I would like
the
to
hat is like
lunge
loose
to
on the
catch it.
drift.
I would like to lunge for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Krampus dives, and that 24-inch long tongue comes out and tries to snatch the hat.
Oh no! Oh, I hate it. Act under pressure.
So act under pressure.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, I'd like to use a luck point. Do we have luck?
Yep.
True.
Yeah.
Nice.
Use the luck. That's fine. You
All-
grab
all
this
right.
hat with your long
and he
tongue.
eats it. I would like to eat that hat.
Yeah, you spent the luck point, man. Like you spent the luck point to eat this hat. That's fine. I think for a brief moment you hear, no, no. What about my money? And the hat is gone from this world.
That was an appropriate reaction, Will. Horrified cat. There we go.
Congratulations, you solved my snow puzzle.
Yay.
Like he started.
He's like coughing up a hairball. Oh, no.
Oh my.
Good job, everyone.
That's
you gotta tell me. You have to tell me what's the status of the Lancia.
Valencia, you smashed its front end in a little bit, but it takes a little while for Idris to dig you out and then dig out the rest of the car, and it seems like it's a bit waterlogged. But otherwise it's mostly fine. You'll have to take some time to take it into the shop and repair it. Maybe get some engine work done on it, but it's not totaled.
Thank you. I know someone got
If I could, it seems to me that you destroyed your car doing the work of keeping Christmas safe for everyone. Herman, I believe we could probably get some elves to help.
Oh,
yeah. They're very good at building things.
Actually, this would be a good gift. I just got you a scarf. I can talk to my elves to help us out here.
That would be better.
It was a very nice scarf, in my opinion, but I assume you want your car fixed up over a scarf.
That would be. I wasn't expecting it, but that would be great.
Yeah.
That's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And
no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, did Herman get Christmas presents for everybody?
Oh,
I'm
yes.
kind of curious what.
Yeah.
Like,
let's see.
Is it scarves all around?
So good.
We can do scarves all around. We could also do. I'm trying to think of. I'd probably try to think of something a little bit more personal for everybody too, if possible.
If Colleen got presents, it's just gift cards to Dutch Bros Coffee, which I'm pretty sure is exclusively West Coast and therefore useless in Minnesota. Wonderful. So I just don't like Dutch Bros. So West Coasters get at me.
Actually, there we go. If Colleen's gift would be Dutch Bros, Herman pulls out a gift subscription to Dutch Bros, where she gets Dutch Bros coffee every month.
Colleen, overjoyed.
Very thoughtful.
Amelia, not so much.
Yeah.
not so much.
For Krampus, Herman got essentially let's see here. So he noticed your basket, and the basket is great, but the basket only has like one opening. So he got you a wicker backpack that not only has the opening that you can size up and stuff, but also has other pockets. So like if you wanted like a bottle of water or like a place for your phone that's actually made to handle your claws, you can easily put it there too.
Oh, this is perfect for going on picnics. I love it. Get a
And
bottle
for-
of wine,
so
some
you can fit
cheese.
more
Yeah,
into
no
it.
problem.
And for Nick,
Yeah.
due to our long history, unfortunately, I don't know what Nick would want 100%. Herman would probably get something like very personal between the two of you. So what would Nick want in that regard, if you will?
It's like getting a Christmas present for your dad.
Right.
It's like, man, I don't What do you want?
Ooh, I think Nick might go a little because he knows Herman has the magical abilities to do some of these things. I know Nick. It never came into play, but Nick's choice of vehicle was motorcycle, and so I think he really wants a sidecar for Christmas so that he can have Herman come along with him more
All
often.
the buddies.
That's totally it. That's totally it. Herman's going to have no idea how to get this from here to your motorcycle, but that's where we're going.
Hey.
And if Nick is as trans mask as I think it is, cannot resist the most ostentatious Hawaiian shirt on this planet.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh man, Christmas.
Yeah, I think
I love it.
I think Krampus is probably just giving it like Krampus made fruitcake, like made it like 100 years ago, but it's still good.
This is amazing,
and everybody's getting a loaf.
It's been soaking in the various alcohols for about 100 years.
100 years, yeah. It is the booziest, tastiest fruitcake ever.
That's powerful stuff. I love it.
Herman is overjoyed, takes one bite, and immediately passes out.
It's like the McMillan of shitty.
Yeah, I think we see Ethan Autumns and Willie Shakes and Mr. Wigglesworth, Cindy Lewis, Alicia Randolph, all of them kind of come together and just thank you for all of your help, for righting these wrongs in the community and making sure that everyone was safe and having a good time at Christmas. And Alicia comes over and awards the first place medal to Nick for your group's wonderful ice sculpture depicting the 12 days of Christmas.
Get it, Nick.
Okay, but I think Nick would take later off screen, he would take the chainsaw and cut it into equal bits for everyone because he's like, we can't pass this around, but everyone can get a piece.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, congratulations, everyone. You've solved my snowman puzzle. Have a happy Christmas, and thank you guys for playing.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for DMing.
Thank you for running the game.
Yes.
Hats off to Jason.
Get it?
Yeah.
Got it?
I'm just rewarding whatever points. I don't. Let's see what fisticuffs looks like. That is not what I was guessing fisticuffs would look like. Okay.
And
is there a thing we could have triggered to do those things, or I'm just missing?
There is. Whoa. Hey, I forgot to turn off the thing. That's just going on forever. Hold on 1 second.
Infinite game.
Oh my goodness.
Infinite game. I had to fix the thing. I forgot to make it me again. Here we go.
End of session moves. Did we learn something?
That's it. Hi. Sorry. Just popping right back in again. Just to say, y'all did a great job. And why don't we go around one more time? I'm going to disappear and tell people where to find you. And then I'll be back and we'll take it on out for the night.
Let's go counterclockwise this time.
Yeah.
Keep the pressure.
Still starting with me. So I have been Jason. I've been your keeper. Thank you so much for having me. This was a wonderful time. I knew I really wanted to do stuff with Live from the Apocalypse from talking in Reckless Attacks Twitch streams about Digimon. And so I was like, yes, finally, this is a thing that can work. So I am Jason. I run Monster of the Week for the Memester of the Week podcast, where we have a ghost dog and a lot of fun. So come check that out anytime that you want.
I swear again, I did not intend for that, but
I think I am next counterclockwise, so I'm Jonathan Clancy. Like I said, I play with this crazy group of characters, and you can get me on Twitter. It's Penguin8814, I believe. Otherwise, Carrier Pigeon is a good way to get in touch with me too. And yeah, thank you for running, Jason. And this was a really enjoyable jolly time.
All right. Well, again, my name is Ryan Placetti. I am the host of Don't Wreck Yourself, an information podcast for comedy enthusiasts or vice versa. You can find me at Wreck Your Pod. I've been wanting to get involved with actual plays for a long time. I've been playing RPGs for decades at this point, and this was a very exciting experience. So I want to thank you guys thank all of you for providing an outlet here, and to be able to do it to play tabletop games for charity is wild. So thank you for the opportunity. It was great. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, all my fellow players. You were all wonderful.
Once again, I'm Kristen. You can find me over at Twitter at KristenCINCX. Thank you for having all of us. Thank you to everyone else for the lovely cast of characters I will be thinking about nonstop for years to come. This was absolutely amazing.
Again, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Alive from the Apocalypse, for hosting. I'm Amelia. You can find me on Twitter at am_rids_music. If you like, I'm completely losing my train of thought. I am a player and the editor on the Lancer actual play, Bring Your Own Mech, which is just big gay robots. If you're like, hey, I like that part where Colleen crashed a car into a big thing, this is basically 90% of our episodes. So
it's very good. Genuinely, Byom is one of my favorite shows.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said blue hair, I was like, wait a minute. That's one of our
characters. No, it's actually, and here's a promo, I guess, for a later stream. But Ethan Autumns is based off of my real life friend named Ethan, who has blue hair and is playing in one of the Haz-mas games later this week.
And I'm back. Hi. Thanks so much to everybody for hanging out tonight. Thanks to everybody who played. Thank you to Jason for running the game. Thank you to everybody. This was really good, first of all. And also like the tightest one shot that I have seen in a very long time. Like that was perfectly within the time frame, which blows my mind. Because one shots, if you're not familiar, almost always run long or end early. So hats off for exactly ending it at 11, essentially. And yes, I should thank, we got a bunch of donations tonight during the stream. So thank you so much to Goat Pants, Andrew, Hawkacux, and JD for donating. Really appreciate it so much. And the IRC appreciates it too. We will be back tomorrow night and every night for the next 12 days, except for Christmas Eve and Christmas. So if you're not already following the channel, feel free to do that. All of the socials just got hit in the chat. And also, feel free to join our Discord community if you are so inclined. It's a great place full of great people. We would love to have you. Everybody's very friendly and very nice. We organize a lot of stuff through there. That's kind of where our entire base of operations is. So hop into that if you are so inclined. I think that is probably gonna do it for us. Tomorrow night we'll be back with Veil Breakers, which is one of our ongoing campaigns. It's a D&D 5e game about a bunch of characters who died in the first session and then came back, and now they're trying to save the world without dying again. So it's a good time. Check it out. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m., not 7:30 p.m. Sunday games start a little bit earlier. We are going to disappear for a few seconds, and then I think, assuming they have not ended yet, we're going to raid Girls Run These Worlds. They are hosting a very Morkborg Hanukkah, and they're running a couple giveaways simultaneously. So stick around, hop over there, say hi. There are 2 raid messages in the chat. If you are subscribed, you can feel free to copy paste the first one. If you are not subscribed, feel free to copy paste the one with the little raccoons afterwards. Yeah, all of that being said, thanks again for hanging out with us. We're going to call it a night. Follow all these lovely people, and we will see you again very soon. Thanks so much for following. I'm going to take us on out. See you soon.